Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Zip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Zip and Jake, sponsored.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to more of a breakdown.
Yeah,
we've got two ranked teams playing tonight, too. Not each other, but there are two different ranked teams that have games this evening. Hello, we're back. Congratulations.
Your voice sounded funny on your intro. It was up a few octaves.
Hello. Good morning. We all have our mistakes.
It wasn't a mistake.
Our errors. We all have voice cracks once in a while, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just when you're in high school. It happens once in a while when you get later in life. You have a voice crack.
Okay. Yes, this is good news. God, it snuck up
we
on
are back,
Did it
baby.
sneak up on you?
Yes. The first game tonight, by the way, if you want it'd be online on ESPN3, but you've got St. Francis and Akron.
Yeah, not interested.
Come on, Zip. Go watch the Zips play some ball.
Zips.
Yeah.
I've told you that story about the editor at the DN, right? Have
No,
I told you
I
that
don't
story?
think so.
It was I was just a lad. I was at the Daily Nebraska, the student newspaper, and I had been there for probably a year and a half. In fact, I was the sports editor at the time. And there was a news editor down there who was having car trouble. And she looked up at me and said, "What's your name? Zip?" I'm like, no. She goes, "You work on cars, don't you?" I'm like, no. She goes, "You just look like someone who would work on cars."
There it is. There's the judgment there.
Yeah. Do I look like someone who would work? Yeah. Little rough guy. You just look like someone who would work on cars. She was having car trouble.
You should have responded to her and said, "Well, you look like this."
You
had retorts of what
I just
she
always
looked
remember, what's your name? Zip?
She can start calling you Zip on this show.
What's your name? Zip. All right.
Would you like to tell the news of where you work with now on 3.com?
Yeah, Sean is officially. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sean is officially
Sean
a member.
Callahan.
Yeah,
Sean Callahan.
Yeah. Well, yes, thank you. Sean Callahan, who's been in this market covering football forever, 20 plus years, officially, formally is now part of the On 3 team. And we can call it Husker Online now. If you look at the website, if you go to on3.com, scroll team sites, you'll see now that it's now, Jake, I am now of Husker Online.
I know you are.
Can
I'm aware. I want you
can
to tell the people yourself.
Yeah, I'm really happy for Sean. I mean, he's kind of been in this limbo
for 3 months.
For 3 months. It went really fast. The guys, in Abby, Barmore, Robin Washit, Grant Hansen, Brian Munson, Robin in particular really had to do a lot. And now Sean joins the team. So it's officially last night at midnight.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's exciting. I'm
So-
excited for Sean. He just wanted to be back and be able to do everything he's used to doing, and now he will.
So you are no longer with the coming soon Nebraska on3.com. It is now officially Husker Online with on3.com.
Yeah. So we have our
Congratulations.
URL. We have our URL.
HuskerOnline.com is back.
Yeah.
And running like it was, but with a different brand, on3.com.
Thank you for the
You
acknowledgement.
are welcome.
That's nice.
I try to help out in this show.
You do help out.
You guys are always welcome to call and text 402-464-5685. You can watch and comment also on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. This show is sponsored by Gaina Trucking. Check out their current job openings at gainatrucking.com. So yesterday, Sip, we heard from Mark Whipple and Eric Shenander. I think there is two different spectrums there. Don't you think in terms of the moods of those two guys?
Ooh, that's interesting. Yeah.
I mean, Mark Whipple said
ahead.
he was, he
said he was more.
He was more encouraged than he was discouraged by Nebraska's offense, which I view as a pretty optimistic take from the offensive coordinator. You could have gone in there and been cranky and said, I'm pissed we lost and be short with the media. But instead, obviously we didn't win the game, but I'm encouraged with the offense more than I am discouraged.
Do you want to get into it?
I do.
He said he was pleased with the offense through 3 quarters. Okay. Nebraska scored 4 touchdowns in that span. I'm just reading from my story.
Please do.
He was pleased with the offense through 3 quarters. Nebraska scored 4 touchdowns in that span and had 1 turnover. That was shaky. A very debatable turnover. Wouldn't you say? Isaiah Garcia Castaneda's
the fumble.
Yeah. I just don't think
this was Whipple, the fumble, the quotations fumble.
Yeah. I don't know. There was not a good camera angle on that. That's what I determined.
Yeah, I watched the replay last night of that. All the angles they had. I tell you what, I couldn't see clear evidence that it wasn't a fumble. For everyone that says
it wasn't a fumble.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the key.
Yeah, it wasn't clear. You might have thought at the time it was clear, and it probably was down. But the cameras they had, the different footage, did not make it completely 100% visible that was not a fumble, in my opinion.
Well, that's fine. We don't need to relitigate that. The most critical factor for Nebraska's offense, ? In the 4th quarter, Whipple said we didn't finish. He said we were really good on 3rd downs through 3 quarters, and in the 4th quarter we were 0 for 3. So Nebraska through 3 quarters was 9 for 13 on 3rd down.
Exceptional.
Yeah.
Exceptional.
And Northwestern finished 7 for 17. Whipple, are you following along with me?
Yep,
Are the fans, are the listeners following along? Whipple
follow along, listeners.
Was pleased that Nebraska started the game well because it hadn't started well in scrimmages, which he only mentioned one time, I think. And he didn't make a prominent mention of it. Do you remember him saying that? Not many people do. He slid it in a week or so ago.
Didn't make the top of the show storylines.
No. He had mentioned that they were a slow starting. Okay, it's interesting too, because if you think of it in the context of that game, they started really well.
They started extremely fast. I mean, that first drive was perfect, right?
Yeah. Casey was 5 for 6.
Capped off by an exceptional deep throw, a good catch by Isaiah Garcia Castaneda for a touchdown. We thought we were back. We thought we're going to the national championship, baby.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Casey was 5 for 6 on that drive. So, they came out early and put up 2 quick touchdowns, and life felt pretty good if you're a Nebraska fan, right? Then, it got complicated as the game went on. But as you mentioned, I saw you at halftime.
Mm-hmm. You did?
What a time this was.
Yeah, that's right. For 3 minutes, we talked at halftime.
Yeah.
And then I said, hey, Sip, the second half started. Like, oh, God, I got to go. So look at that. The game's back underway. Uh-oh, got to go.
But, when we were talking, there was a lot of consternation.
There was.
And then
Nebraska trailed by 3 at that point at halftime.
Yeah. And then, bam, boom, 2 quick touchdowns.
Back up by 11.
Yeah. And what Whipple said was the offensive staff did a good job at halftime, put some things together, scored 2 touchdowns in a row. Bottom line, he said, the bottom line from his appearance yesterday, Whipple, is he said we really have to harp this week on finishing.
Mm-hmm.
And he also noted that he's 65. He didn't say he's 65, but he said this is the first time in my career. He says it's the first time in his coaching career that the offense wasn't penalized. He's 65.
They lost the game.
Yeah, but they weren't penalized.
Had no holding, no false starts.
Nothing.
Think about that, Sip, for a second.
I know.
In the first game of a season, how many times you see sloppy play, a false starts?
Oh, God, yeah.
Specifically, false starts.
Yeah. Now, continuing on with Whipple, I wrote that he played down the Frost comment about creativity. I know what that's about. Whipple acted like he wasn't even aware of it, which I don't know. He said the quote was, "I like you guys." He told a bunch of reporters. That doesn't mean I read you. Now, he indicated that Keith Mann, the associate AD for communication, I'll call him. I might have botched his title. He's the man. No pun intended.
M-A-N-N, man.
Yeah. Whipple indicated that Keith Mann briefed him on a situation. Whipple seemed nonplussed. Like,
this is a guy who's been coaching for a very long time. He's probably seen a lot of drama.
Yeah.
Don't forget what just happened this past offseason with Pat Narduzzi, basically whipping him on the way out.
Yeah. He did.
Right? Didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Pat. Did this guy just get you a Heisman Trophy candidate and win you the conference? Just why don't you just slap him on the way out?
I think that people like drama.
It's a stupid drama there.
Yeah. So there.
Shame on Pat Narduzzi. Still.
He Whipple indicated he was just vaguely aware of that whole conversation, which I find to be refreshing. That he doesn't get mired in the drama that so many of us. I'm not gonna lie though. I was never mired in. I'm not. I mean, I wasn't. I'm older. I don't get into all that. I don't. The tension. Sip, is there tension? I don't know. God. Yes. Of course there's tension. God, they got to win every game. Yeah, there's going to be tension. There's going to be guys yelling at each other sometimes. Whoa, the horror. All right, sorry. He said, "Hey, Whipple, hey, we've got to get better in all parts." I told the guys, we've got to coach better. I've got to call plays better. I've got to coach better. You guys got to play better. We've got to stay together, and we've got to finish. That's really the message.
I liked also in that little part, he says, we're not playing high school football anymore, where it's 12-minute quarters.
Right.
Come on, Whip. That's right. Get on these guys.
Yeah, he's on them.
Finish.
Chenander, now, Eric would not appreciate me saying this, but I think my read on Eric and my read on the defense, my read on the guys that I've talked to is they're a little shell-shocked. They did not in any way anticipate what happened. This is a team that was extremely confident going into this game. Now, what's this mean? I don't know. And I'll tell you what, a lot of tears in the locker room.
Well, you heard from Caleb Tanner on
Garrett,
Tuesday, about how shocked he was,
Yeah.
specifically about what happened in Dublin.
And he says he's not. He said, "I'm not going to lie, it hurt." I mean, he said, "We thought I'm paraphrasing him, but he said we think we're the team to bring him back."
This was Caleb Tanner on Tuesday. Oh, hang on.
I love this.
No, try this again. Here's Caleb Tanner.
This one, I ain't gonna lie, this one was kind of hard though. For some reason, this one was kind of hard. Usually, I'm on to the next one, but this one is emotionally hard because we put that grind in, and I felt like this team right here was like, I feel like this team right here is like, man, we the one to bring Nebraska back to where it was. So it's hard. But like I said, I take full responsibility of that. And coming with that, we got to get back to work. It's like we ain't got time to soap about it, cry about it. Like, we got to get back to work. And that's all I'm worried about right now.
That was Caleb Tanner on
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
So if you heard Garrett Nelson after the game, he said he was, he's the leader of the team. He has to have a strong posture at almost all times, but he said the words, "I'm having trouble keeping my head up right now." The locker room, it was a rough locker room. Now, I think you'd agree. I think we discussed this a little bit yesterday. I like that. That indicates a high level of caring. There's
no apathy there.
No, I've seen locker rooms that it was pretty evident that the loss wasn't a big deal to some guys. I've seen it. I've seen it more than once.
About when you saw Nebraska celebrate a loss to Oregon in 2017.
Well, they weren't celebrating. They were smiling. There was a lot of, it was confusing to me because it seemed like they won. I had to keep reminding myself in the
Didn't look like remorse, did it?
No.
To a loss?
No.
Sound like celebration to a
No,
loss.
that's a good point, actually. 2017 at Oregon, I literally in the post game I had to remind myself multiple times that they lost the game because the interviews were so strikingly positive.
People were smiling. They were happy, high-fiving.
Yeah, Mike, it was a homecoming for Mike, so he was having a little party off to the side with his people from Oregon. I was like, well, this isn't the best look here, but you just lost. But a lot of those guys were unfamiliar with Nebraska and kind of how hard we take things. But now back to Chinander, and I just don't think that, like I said, now I know I always try to anticipate what you're going to say. Well, of course I didn't see it coming. Yeah, I mean, you can see losses coming sometimes, or you can see trouble coming. I don't think they saw it. And they're not that they didn't respect Northwestern, but
they better have.
Yeah, the way they just beat them.
Do not go down that road again. I will bring back every example of Northwestern beyond that game.
Yeah, I got you.
That brings that down. So
anyway, no, I don't. It wasn't I think they totally respected Northwestern. I just think they were very confident. He said Eric Chinander. He says definitely was not up to our standard at all. Obviously, this is where it got interesting to me. He did feel good about how the defense played. He lamented a few missed tackles. He said a few. We missed a few. Frost said the same thing. Pro Football Focus said 14 missed tackles.
And if you watch the game, that seemed pretty accurate, right?
I guess. I don't, full disclosure, I don't lie about anything anymore. I didn't watch I didn't rewatch the game. I got a good look at the game.
And when you initially watched it, you saw a lot of missed tackles, right? You wouldn't say there's a few missed tackles. You say there's quite a few missed tackles.
Yeah. He said there were some missed assignments, Eric Chinander, and mental errors on all three levels of the defense. Now, what do? I asked him the question. Do you put more emphasis on tackling this week? And it's kind of a muddled answer. Like he said, it's a hard thing. This is exactly what he said. It's a hard thing to handle because you can't tackle in practice and you can't recreate those open space tackles a lot in college football in practice unless you're going to go tackle the first string offense. And I think we'd all feel terrible if one of our starting receivers, running backs, quarterback got hurt doing that, he said. So we've got to do a great job with drills, he said. He said, which I think we have some great drills. He said, like I said, the tackling was pretty good, except for some open space ones. One I can think of offhand, and one guy missed with wrong leverage, and one guy missed with right leverage, and we just didn't get there fast enough with the rest of the posse. He said, we're going to really break down the film and talk about technique and drill that technique without being able to get those hits live.
I don't know about that.
I know.
I don't know about that. Listen, Eric has been, I think he's been a fine coordinator so far in his time in Nebraska. I'm not going to doubt what he's been doing, but that one stands out to me as a little odd or something I'm not exactly that fond of.
You can tackle the second string, I would think.
Well, why can't you tackle the first string? I understand when he says you don't want to get guys injured, but
I know.
How do you prepare your defense to tackle the best players in the other team if you're not tackling your own best players?
How do you get
second string players are second string for a reason?
How do you get prepared to tackle Ibrahim and Braylon Allen if you're not practicing
against your ones?
Yeah, I don't know.
If you're tackling the twos, okay, that's something. But again, like I said, there's a reason why twos aren't ones. They're not as good as the ones.
Neither you nor I, and this is where I'm deficient, in some areas. I don't understand the rules of practice in the NCAA. I don't when coaches allude to this, in this day and age, we can't tackle and practice. What's happened? I don't understand it exactly.
Because you come from a time when Nebraska was having 2-a-day practices where they would tackle.
Yeah,
right?
they would. Yeah, there was a lot.
They would
there
hit.
was a lot of tackling.
You saw fights in practice.
So I don't know if this is an NCAA edict that has, and I'm sure it's not 2 lines in a manual. It's probably fairly detailed, so it's probably it wouldn't be great radio, or even really interesting to read. I think it's just
let's just move on then.
Yeah,
we just don't know. We just don't know.
We don't know
what changed.
Well, there's one thing that's changed that we know. Nebraska used to have much better depth, and now it's dicey. I mean, if you get, a couple guys hurt, like Trey Palmer and Anthony Grant,
that's a problem.
It seems like it'd be a problem.
It'd be a problem.
I mean, they got Vokalek hurt in a game,
but I don't think you could just stop and not tackle those guys in practice to avoid that. Because as Gary points out too on the text line 464-5685. How do the ones learn to break tackles if they're not getting hit in practice?
I don't know. They scrimmage. I mean, they have major scrimmage.
No,
they had two major scrimmages for sure.
How many practices do they have total in the fall before the season?
I'm going to say roughly 25.
So they have 3 scrimmages out of 25 practices.
They have 2 major scrimmages for sure, and maybe 3. And then there's probably, I hope, that there's parts of practice devoted to live tackling and scrimmage.
Okay, but there's 3
where you interject some scrimmaging into a practice.
But there's 3 of 25 that there's actual tackling all the way through.
Yeah, live tackling.
Sometimes it's telling.
I know.
And I don't know.
In the NFL,
I don't know what Northwestern's doing for their scrimmages.
Talk to an NFL guy though. They don't tackle much anymore, Jake.
But that's different. I mean, those are guys that have proven it at the college level. They're the best of the best. They don't really, tackling. Obviously, you got to work on it, but they're professionals.
Yeah, and tackling in the NFL isn't as good as it used to be either.
It's not.
So, yeah, I don't know.
The tackling is way more important to practice in college when you're trying to mold young men from high school and guys that are still just college players before they get to the pros.
It's interesting that both Frost and Chenander really played down the tackling thing.
I agree with you on that. I thought that was odd. They both said there's just a few missed tackles when I think clearly there was way more than a few.
Frost on Tuesday was clearly not overly concerned about the tackling. So there it is. Whipple and Chenander. I think you read it right. Whipple came across a little more confident.
Well, he says he was encouraged more than discouraged.
Yeah.
And I told you, and I think you agreed, you watched the game. Of course, there is an unfortunate fourth quarter for Nebraska in terms of moving the ball.
They didn't get a first down in the fourth quarter.
Which is not good.
Right.
But the rest of the game, Nebraska looked pretty dang good offensively.
Pretty good.
Run game was not great, but it had its moments too.
Yeah. Needs to have more.
Needs to have more moments.
God, in that program, they're really confident in Anthony Grant. I need to see more. I need to see more. I don't mean it like I'm not impressed, but I need to see more. There's no doubt. There's no doubt that Anthony Grant is the starting running back. Now, Whipple did. He addressed. I mean, he indicated that Gabe Ervin was. He said that he wants to get Gabe Ervin more in the mix. Ramir Johnson, I think they Scott talked about that Tuesday. They want to get him more in the mix. I don't know how you get everybody in the mix. There's only one ball. Maybe this is a type of game. Maybe this is the type of game on Saturday against North Dakota where you can get a lot more players in. I don't know that though. I'm not convinced this is going to be a runaway.
You think North Dakota might throw the kitchen sink?
Yes, like they threw it at Utah State. They threw the kitchen sink at Utah State. Reverses, twirls. Yeah. Flea flicker. They were doing all sorts of things.
I don't think they come in scared of Nebraska.
No, they won't come in scared, and they'll treat it like their bowl game.
Well,
these are scary games for teams that are vulnerable. Nebraska's a little vulnerable.
Yeah.
You know, if it's not like a big crowd, it's not particularly loud. This is all. I think that now the good news is I think my concern is shell shocked.
Yeah,
I'm a little concerned about that.
I think it's a fair concern to have.
Yeah,
based on what we've heard from some players about that specific conversation.
Right. It just all comes down to how quickly do they come out of it. It was Wednesday yesterday. Yeah, it was Wednesday yesterday. Now, today and tomorrow, they really got to come out of it. And if you're the coach, I think you hope Frosty has a pulse on the team, and you got to draw them out of it if they're still in it.
Yep.
You got to get them in hopefully they're pissed. Hopefully they feel like they have a lot to prove. They should. They've lost 7 in a row. They think they're good. They did play hard in that game.
They did. Yeah. Not denying that.
You know, the defense played 85 plays, which is a lot. It's a weird game. The game lasts I don't know. I think did that game last 3 hours and 45 minutes? It was a long game. I'd have to look at the box score, which I have here. It was a long game. They got up in plays where Northwestern ran 85. And I think that showed Nebraska had to play some guys a little bit more than they wanted.
Northwestern had
duration 3:38.
Yeah,
3 hours 38 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a long game.
85 plays to 73 for Nebraska.
Long game.
Couple texts before we get to break coming in. 402-464-5685. DOCK Doc is with us this morning. He says, "You wonder why this program hasn't made a bowl game the last 4 seasons. It's clear something in the game wasn't going right, and yet the coaches still downplayed, even though we saw it with our own eyes." That's about the tackling.
It's curious.
How can you trust somebody that can't even be honest?
I don't know. I didn't, like I said, we still have time. You still have time, by the way, too, to go back and watch it and see. Maybe maybe it looked worse live than it did on tape. Thoughts?
We have to rewatch it.
Yeah.
Bird says twirls.
I don't even know what those are. I was talking to Chenander. Twirl. Yeah, that was a Chenander term. Yeah. I don't know what that means.
Okay. All right. Joe in Boulder says this. "You guys seem to completely dismiss the lack of production in the fourth quarter. That's been the number one issue for this team under Frost for his full tenure. That's why so many fans are so frustrated, because it seems like you have new coaches, but nothing has changed."
Well, there is new coaches. That's changed. But yeah, the fourth quarter was not great for the offense. Correct me if I'm wrong, but after the onside, they didn't get anything in 6 possessions.
No, nothing.
They came up empty.
They were moving the ball on the drive that got picked off when Oliver Martin stopped his route.
Oliver Martin stopped. Is that how you're framing that up? I think you're probably right about that.
Was that too harsh?
Oliver Martin, yeah, that's kind of harsh. I think Oliver Martin would find that.
How about this?
Hard.
The pass intended for Oliver Martin was picked off. They were moving the ball that series. They were, but it ended, of course, in an interception.
So in the fourth quarter, one of the runs that I think is probably at issue with Frost. Remember when in the fourth quarter, they had something going. And Nebraska had something going on its first possession of the fourth quarter. A.J. Allen had an 8-yard run.
Okay.
And then they went back to back, Casey to Brody Belt for 10. And then
that's the same drive I'm talking about. That's the one that got picked off.
Yeah, okay.
That's the drive to move the ball.
Then it was Casey to Brody Belt for 14. And then, and you remember this, as do I, Nebraska had 1st and 10 at Northwestern's 43, and they had something going.
Yes.
And they ran Allen dead into the line. Nothing. Got 1. So now
2nd and 9.
Yeah, 2nd and 9. Then Casey threw it into coverage, incomplete to Borkacher, almost picked.
Almost triple coverage. Double coverage for sure.
Yeah. I don't know if it was almost picked, but it was double coverage.
No, it was almost picked.
Okay.
So it was definitely almost picked.
And then he threw the pick.
Yep.
The play that you wonder about, and my guess is Frost wondered about, was Allen just, you have something going, and then you just run Allen into the line for nothing. when you were getting nothing.
My guess there, if I want to back up Mark Whipple for a second, is that you just had 2 straight successful pass plays.
Mhm.
They're probably expecting you to keep that going. Maybe shock him with the run on 1st and 10. Didn't work out. Obviously, hindsight's 2020. Didn't work out. But I get what he was looking for there. It just didn't work out at all.
Yeah.
Maybe he bounced it outside instead of up the middle. I don't know.
Yeah.
But regardless, they got 1 yard and 2nd and 9.
Yeah, and then you don't have your big time tight end in there. You have the young guy. And I didn't think Borkacher looked ready for that ball.
I didn't either.
Like it looked like it was coming too hard for him. Like this is big boy football now. And that ball's going to be coming hard in that situation.
So I saw the replay of that play yesterday. I watched it. It was, I guess it was catchable, but that was a ball that Casey should not have thrown.
Okay.
That one.
Yeah.
If you want, I mean, it is pretty well covered. There.
Double, triple.
If that's Vokalek or I don't care who that is, that is a well covered pass by Northwestern.
So not so much.
I think it was an ill-advised throw.
Not so much on Borkacher.
Yeah,
he had to go up high.
There was one later, he had another one he dropped that was on him, but that one I'm not putting on him.
Okay.
Been a tough catch, tough situation.
Anything else from the people?
Yes, before we get to break. Let's see here. Just reading some text here. Let's see. Okay. This goes back to the main discussion of the entire game, which of course has been the onside.
Yeah, we haven't talked about that much.
This is a great text from Faisal because this is my view on it too. It's not just a bad call. It's because of this where Faisal goes into. He says, I still don't understand how Frost makes that onside kick call knowing how mentally fragile this team has been for 4 years.
Well, I mean, I do understand why. I don't agree with it, but you understand, like even if you don't agree with anything in the world, you try to understand it, right? I totally understand what he's trying to do. I totally disagree with it, but I completely understand the idea of we need a spark. It was not Frost's decision alone, but he did have to sign off on it. And he could have said no. That's the key.
He could have said hell no.
Yeah, he could have. Yeah, he could say, "Are you crazy?" He could have. So it ultimately, I guess you would say it's his decision. I get the concept, and I get what they saw. They thought Northwestern was vulnerable. Didn't work. That's it.
Yep.
But I don't know. It seems like that conversation has gone away pretty quickly.
Trying to move on. North Dakota, Saturday. More next, an early break in the ticket.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. Summer is here, and that means you're having garage parties with neighbors, hitting the golf course and the pool. The drink of this summer isn't your typical seltzer. It's drinkable Delta 8. Yep, Trek CBD has drinkable Delta 8 seltzers with mango and lime flavors for 4-packs, 12-packs, coming in a variety of mango, watermelon, lime, and berry. They also have hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups to put in your beverages, and as always, the excellent Delta 8 gummies. Trek CBD at 84th and Andermatt and TrekCBD.com. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
Hey guys, Nick Sadert here, and I want to tell you about my friends at Spine and Sports Chiropractic. I experienced a herniated disc in my lower back a few years ago, and thanks to the folks at Spine and Sports, I got back to feeling 100%. At Spine and Sports, they use the active release technique, which involves the soft tissue and can alleviate headaches, shoulder pain, plantar fasciitis, and more. What I like most about the ART method is that your doctor will construct a plan that fits your needs because the technique is not a cookie-cutter approach. Allow Spine and Sports Chiropractic to help you feel better. Set up your appointment today by giving them a call at 402-261-6841.
It's tailgate season. Why would you bounce around from place to place for all your beverage needs when you could have it all in one place? Wine, Beer, and Spirits has everything for your parties with their 3 locations in Lincoln, Grand Island, and Omaha. It's the largest liquor store in the state, and here's the best part. You can get a drink from their bar and walk around with it as you shop for all your tailgate necessities. Locally owned and operated, it's Wine, Beer, and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Bauer Infrastructure is a new name from a well-established brand, and they're paving the way to progress. And they're hiring. Bauer Infrastructure is hiring truck drivers, carpenters, truck mechanics, and equipment operators. And they have industry-leading benefits to maintain a work-life balance. Bauer offers paid time off and paid holidays, a matching 401k plan, medical, dental, vision, life, and disability insurance, a clothing allowance, and more. Start your new career today by applying at BauerInfrastructure.com. The fall sports season is here, and Brown Shoe Fit is celebrating that with a sale on athletic shoes. From now through the end of August, get $10 off any regular priced athletic shoe up to $105, and get $15 off shoes regularly priced at over $105. These are shoe brands including New Balance, Brooks, Hoka, and On. Gear up for the busy fall season today with the athletic shoe sale at Brown Shoe Fit, located at 66th and Q.
Wow. Did you ever save me money on my car?
Yes, that's why our customers keep coming back.
How do you do it, friendly car dealer ?
We simply have low overhead and high trade-in values. The next line's yours.
Oh.
Ready for something better? Mullen Motors is a no-hassle, no-pressure dealership with financing available. Check out the inventory at MikeMullenMotors.com.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Join us this Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. at Cornhusker Bank at 84th and O for a tailgate to get ready for Nebraska's first home game. DP&J will be on air with a guest appearance by Larry the Cable Guy with free food and drink for the whole 2 hours. That's this Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. at Cornhusker Bank on 84th and O.
Teachers like me, parents, we don't always know as much as you guys do about what's going on with other kids.
Half the time, it's rumors.
Yeah, but if you're ever concerned about a friend who's having trouble with alcohol, prescription drugs, anything, you need to tell an adult, someone you know and trust. That can be hard, but speaking up about a problem is what helping a friend is all about.
For more information, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Sponsored by DHHS and aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
If you need to sell equipment and trucks, Ritchie Brothers' new Lincoln Satellite Yard lets you free up space at your property and get local access to all Ritchie Brothers auctions. Drop your equipment off and sell it online at any Ritchie Brothers auction, Iron Planet, or via Marketplace E. The yard is at 8801 US 6 Lincoln. It's secure and makes for easy in-person buyer inspections and pickup. Take advantage of this yard to sell at Ritchie Brothers' Great Plains Regional Auction, September 15th and 16th. For details, visit rbauction.com/Lincoln.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
We're on the air. Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, we'll take a quick break from discussing Nebraska football for a second because, no more lamenting. Let's get on to Saturday's game. 2:30 p.m. Nebraska plays North Dakota Fighting Hawks. Not the Fighting Sioux, what they were, the Fighting Hawks.
No more lamenting.
Yeah. Well, by the way, you can join us for our pregame show, the Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's, 8th and Q, from 12 to 2:30. And postgame shows as well. Okay, I'm excited for tonight. When it's football season, I think you and I are similar. I don't have as good of an excuse as you do because you are writing for Nebraska after the games.
What is it? Hey,
but I don't typically catch probably enough other college football games.
What game are you excited about tonight, Jay?
There's a couple. Number one I'm excited about, as I mentioned off the top of the show, I'll mention it again, 7 p.m. this evening, Central Time, 7 p.m., on regular Fox. Penn State at Purdue. I saw Penn State was a 3.5-point favorite as of yesterday.
Man.
At Purdue.
Man.
First of all, how do you feel about that line? They're in West Lafayette against the second best quarterback in the conference, Aiden O'Connell, and Jeff Brom.
I don't agree with the
Jeff
line.
Brom.
I'm surprised Purdue's not a 3-point favorite.
Let me check it right now. Let me see the update here. As of yesterday, it was a 3.5-point favorite for Penn State. As of right now, it is still Penn State 3.5-point favorite at Purdue tonight.
See, this is where you invoke the discussion of how difficult the Big Ten is. Now, just hear me out.
Okay.
Purdue needs to win this game because of this, because of a lot of reasons, but mainly because of this. Okay, you lose to Penn State, you're 0-1 in the Big Ten, right? Okay.
On your home field, by the way.
Now you have pretty horrible non-conference slate. Indiana State, at Syracuse, Florida Atlantic. That's pretty paltry. Okay, so but let's say Purdue loses 0-1. 0-1 in the Big Ten. Okay. Their next game in the Big Ten is at Minnesota. You'd be staring down the barrel of 0-2. Their next game after that is at Maryland.
Yeah, Maryland's an up-and-coming team.
Tell me that's not a toss-up on the road.
It's a toss-up.
Okay, you could be 0-3. Then you have Nebraska at home.
Two desperate teams, maybe.
Maybe two desperate teams, and then you're at Wisconsin.
Oh boy!
Oh, there you got horrible opening schedule. I mean, I think that's horrible.
You wouldn't typically be scared of Maryland on the road, but I think
Maryland's sneaky, scary right now. I mean, they just jackhammered Virginia.
They might have the third best quarterback in the conference in Talia Tagovailoa, behind Stroud and O'Connell.
Right. And they, of course, this score is just amazing. Maryland beat Virginia Tech 54-10 in the Pinstripe Bowl. 54-10.
I don't know what players were out for Virginia Tech for not playing the bowl game as some players do. But that's an impressive score. When I look at this Purdue game tonight, I'm thinking about how difficult their opening Big Ten schedule is. And if you lose this, you're immediately your back is against the wall, like Nebraska right now. But you think that it should be Purdue favored by 3.5 instead of being an underdog?
Yeah,
it's on their home field.
I'm surprised that
I don't believe in Penn State. You know that.
I know.
I don't buy them.
They couldn't run the ball last year. Now, what's that going to look like? They were terrible running the ball last year. 3.2 yards a carry is what I think it ended up being. Terrible.
Now, Purdue also has lost several weapons at receiver.
Yeah.
Which is going to, David Bell, Milton Wright.
Mm-hmm.
They add Tracy from Iowa.
Yeah.
Or Charlie Jones. They had two guys. Or they added two guys from Iowa, I think.
They added Tyrone Tracy and Charlie Jones.
Yeah, from Iowa, both from Iowa.
Right. You're right. We'll see what that all looks like. Obviously, you mentioned O'Connell's a strength. They like their strength. Yeah, they like their wideouts and tight ends.
Which they like Payne Durham, who's good. But the receivers, again, I have my doubts. I'm allowed to have my doubts because they've lost a lot of good players there at receiver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
yeah, the search is on for playmakers.
7 p.m. tonight, Penn State at Purdue on Fox. Okay, other games tonight that you're curious about. There are probably about 15 games this evening. Now, some of them are just slough games, but there's some games. I think an underrated game here, which I think is way too big of a line here. I'm just kind of giving my own
some lines,
my own gambling.
Give me some lines.
Here. Central Michigan at Oklahoma State. FS1, 6 p.m. What do you think the line is for that? By the way,
Oklahoma State by 23.
The Chippewas have been playing some good football under Jim McElwain.
Oklahoma State over 20 by 23.
Right on the dot.
23.
As of right now, the line is 21.5 Oklahoma State.
Okay. So I wasn't on the dot.
Mike Gundy is going for win number 150 at Oklahoma State this evening. Okay.
Still got Spencer Sanders, who's very much like Adrian Martinez. Spencer Sanders now is a 4-year starter.
I shouldn't bury this lead in terms of maybe the biggest game besides Penn State Purdue this evening is, of course, the backyard brawl, West Virginia at Pitt.
Yeah, it's big.
17th ranked Pitt. Pitt is a 7-point favorite.
That's a big game
in that one.
That's such a regional rivalry.
It is.
We don't get into that here.
I don't.
When you say backyard brawl, it doesn't quite do it like Red River rivalry,
Nope,
right?
I'm with you on that. And then otherwise, the games tonight, New Mexico State at Minnesota, 8 p.m. on BTN.
Well, you
want to watch that game.
Yeah, you're interested in Minnesota. They must be about a 70-point favorite.
You think it's a 70-point favorite?
Yeah, 78.
I think it's in the 30s. Let's check.
Yeah, it's high. It's high. It's a big
Give me your actual. Not
34.
36-point favorite for the Gophers. Right. And who's coaching New Mexico
Jerry
State?
Kill.
Yeah, former Minnesota head coach Jerry Kill.
Yeah.
Man,
we got football tonight, Jay.
Yeah, we do. So please make plans this evening, guys.
I'm going to make sure.
So watch Purdue, Penn State at 7 on Fox. Flip over between that and at BTN at 8 o'clock for Minnesota, New Mexico State.
We need to watch it for the show purposes, by the way.
And we're going to.
I'm
watching ball tonight.
We're sports talk radio people. We need to start watching.
Well, guess what? I am watching ball tonight. Football.
Okay. I'm interested. Are you going to tweet?
You said that you're not going
I'm not going to ruin it by getting.
How was that ruin it?
Because people just.
The jackhammer you or what?
I
I bet you sent a tweet out during Purdue,
bet I
Penn
don't.
State. Yeah, I bet you do.
Bet I don't.
You'll be tempted.
I'm making
to.
a conscious effort not to do that.
You'll be tempted to.
You lose a lot too. You just end up staring at your phone.
Yeah, that's true. I get called out for that all the time. Always get called out for that.
You had a huge tweet at Aviva Stadium, though.
Did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had a big one.
I did. Free alcohol. Yeah.
Did you just run to your phone and
No,
say?
I didn't run. I just went right to it. I said, look at that. There's free alcohol.
Oh my
Aviva.
God.
Found out secondhand. So
That's hilarious.
Rick Hayman, Song of the Day is next on Early Break in the Ticket. Parents, now is the time to get your kids into one of the fastest growing sports in the Midwest, lacrosse. Signups are happening now for the Junior Rampage League fall season. Kids ages 6 to 14 are invited to join, with teams available for both first-time and experienced players. The focus will be on skill development with scrimmages throughout the fall. For more information, head to LincolnLAX.net. Don't miss out on your chance to join the growing lacrosse movement with the Junior Rampage. Register today at LincolnLAX.net. The season starts September 10th.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Gus Cottle. High school football is in full swing. Last week, Omaha Westside defeated Creighton Prep 28-21. Gretna defeated Omaha Burke 44-0. Bellevue West defeated Omaha North 28-26. Elkhorn South defeated Lincoln Southeast 31-20, and Grand Island defeated North Platte 20-19. In volleyball, Bellevue East defeated Lincoln Northwest in 2 sets. Lincoln East defeated Elkhorn North 2-1. Lincoln Northeast defeated Bellevue East in 2 straight sets. Lincoln Northeast defeated Lincoln Northwest in 2 sets, and Lincoln Southeast went 2-0 on the weekend, defeating North Platte and Omaha Buena Vista. In the parking lot of Seaman Stadium in Omaha, a statue of Omaha Central and NFL great Gale Sayers was unveiled in front of a crowd of 300. This has been your Southeast Community College High School Minute. Learn more today at southeast.edu with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford.
Get an immediate look back at the game from the people who know it best. It's the Tanner's Postgame Show and the Final Word live from Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Hear from former players and national champions like Jay Foreman, Rashawn Jackson, and Aaron Davis and see what they saw in that day's game. It's the Tanner's Postgame Show and the Final Word, live and in person, home or away at Tanner's Bar and Grill, brought to you by Bauer Infrastructure. Only here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com. Casey's General Stores is giving away 2 tickets to each Nebraska football home game this season. To enter, just head to any Casey's General Store location in Lincoln during the football season, scan the QR code at the front counter, and fill out the online form. One winner will be chosen at random 2 days before that week's game. So head over to Casey's, stock up on all your tailgating snacks and drinks, and register to win 2 tickets to a Nebraska football game, brought to you by Casey's General Store and 93.7 The Ticket.
The weather in Nebraska is unpredictable every day, and that's no fun when you're trying to golf. Double Eagle Golf in West Lincoln is now open to let you play in perfect indoor conditions daily. Double Eagle Golf has 5 simulator bays to hit in, by far the most in Lincoln. It has a fully stocked bar with beers and cocktails for you to enjoy while you play. Double Eagle Golf is open each weekday from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., so you can start the day there, take a client over lunch, or end the night with friends. Check out Double Eagle Golf today inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Take your tan to the max at Max Tan. Right now, get 10 days for $10. All levels, including sun, spray, and red light. 4 Lincoln locations make it easy to take your tan to the max with no appointment necessary. 10 days, $10. Details online at maxtan.net.
Mark your calendars for the St. Wenceslas Brewfest on Saturday, September 10th in Milligan. Savor a delicious selection of Czech beer and cuisine while listening to live bands. And there's kids' activities too. It's the St. Wenceslas Brewfest on September 10th in Milligan.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
A few scattered showers and thunderstorms in the area this morning, then becoming mostly sunny and hot again with a high of around 93. South winds at 10 to 20. Mainly clear tonight with a low of 65. We'll be back up to a high of 95 tomorrow with a chance of late afternoon and evening thunderstorms. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Move over, Jake.
I'm moving. Jeez.
Thursdays are reserved for a man with a wider range of music knowledge than Jake could ever dream of.
This is the golden era. You would hear this on any radio station. You know, it wasn't like it is now.
Okay.
You know, you got country, you got R&B, you got pop, you got rap, you got rock. They didn't have that then. You heard everything.
A man who knows a good song when he hears it, just as much as a good diamond when he sees it.
You get a diamond!
Yes, I do get a diamond. I get a diamond, and that makes me happy.
It's time for Rick Hayman's Song of the Day, sponsored by Sartor Hayman Jewelers. On Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket.
Song of the Day, Game of Love by Santana and Michelle Branch. 464-568-51 is bad. 10 is good. Texture rating on Rick Hayman, Sartor Hayman Jewelers Song of the Day. Once again, your Song of the Day, Game of Love by Santana featuring Michelle Branch. 464-568-51 is bad. 10 is good. Texture rating on Rick Hayman, Sartor Hayman Jewelers Song of the Day.
Love that song. Loved it the first time I heard it. Loved it that 600th time I heard it. Never would turn that off. That's a 9.7.
Wow.
I think that's a really pleasant, great. I mean, Santana's incredible. Michelle Branch had a little period in there where she was good, and I think
gone away.
Yeah, I think she had some problems with the industry. Rick might be able to expand on that. The industry, she had some issues with the industry.
You said that song was about 5 seconds in. You said, love this song,
Love it.
9.7. In your head, you knew it before the
Love
words
it.
came out. You
No,
knew the song.
I've always liked that song. I don't know. It's
I've liked
well
it
done.
too. Yeah,
it's well done. That's this. I don't have to. I don't think you need to overthink it. It's just really well done.
Yeah, I always liked it too. I don't switch the channel there. So 9.7 for you. I'll go with an 8.4.
Okay.
You want to get Gus's rating real quick?
He liked it a lot.
Wait,
8.5.
Show a squeeze board guess. 5. Not for me. Well, on that note, hey, we got 2 good scores from me and Sip. Rick Hayman joins us now. Rick, good morning.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. How are we today?
Well.
Better. You have great taste in music, which I appreciate.
Oh, thank you. Hey, Zip. Hey, Zip. Hey, my truck needs an oil change. What time can you come over?
Why would you ask me that? You just look like somebody who works on cars. Oh, okay.
Glad you guys are back. I could have gone negative after that devastating loss, but I'm staying positive, guys.
Are you really?
Wow, Rick, all right.
You're in the minority.
I'm staying positive. It's a killer song. What can you say? It's just fantastic. Like you said, Sipple, not Zip.
Zipple.
The first note you hear, you love it, and you don't want to change channel.
Right. And Michelle Branch has a beautiful voice.
Beautiful voice. You were talking about her issues.
Industry.
She actually teamed up with another gal in the mid. By the way, that song is almost exactly 20 years old today.
I
was going to say it. I was back in like middle school.
That feels like a new song to me.
I know, me too.
Doesn't it?
And it's not 1976. And incidentally, in 1976, I was 19 and was in a band. That was that the magical days.
Yeah.
So talking about that all week. Anyway, no, she ended up going country with another gal.
Okay, country.
And they started a band called the Wreckers.
Okay.
The Wreckers.
Okay.
Yeah.
How'd that work out, I wonder?
They did okay. She's still out there. She's doing a thing and, small scale. But, yeah, super talented. She's from Sedona, Arizona. Her partner, Jessica Harp, in the Wreckers is from Kansas City.
Okay, cool.
So, they still get together and play. But this is more about Santana. This actually won a Grammy Award for Best Pop Collaboration in 2002. And it just, this was when Santana was doing all these collaborations, and they were all huge smash hits because they were all great songs.
What else?
He had Rob Thomas, right?
What else?
Rob Thomas. They did, what was the name of that one?
Smooth. That song was called
Smooth. That was like the #1 selling single in history.
It was a big song.
Jiminy.
Crazy. Yeah.
Jiminy.
So, I'm sorry?
Jiminy. Yeah. Man, #1 in
so
history.
Carlos Santana moved to America from Mexico. He was born down there. He ended up living in San Francisco during the height of the hippie days and was influenced by a lot of blues guys. He was a dishwasher at TikTok Drive-In, and he played on the street, and he just was out there doing it, and ended up getting a record deal. Interestingly, his first band included Greg Rowley and Neil Schon, who then went on to form Journey later. But they contributed a lot to the first couple albums. What can you say? The guy's just amazing. And I don't have a ton of trivia on this. It's just a great song, but I do have some Stump the Sippers.
All right, let's do that.
Stump
Rick.
the Sippers.
Rick Hayman, let's do that.
Okay. Carlos Santana is younger or older than 75?
Older. Give me a diamond.
You get a diamond. He's 77.
Okay. 1 for 1. That was a confident guess, Sip.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks
Is his real last name Rodriguez or Alves?
It's Alves. Give me another diamond.
You get 2 diamonds.
Yes.
Carlos Santana Alves.
Well versed on Carlos
Yes.
Santana over here.
Yes. Like
2 for 2. What's next, Rick?
Is he or is he not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
I am a rhinestone cowboy. Yeah, he is. He's in there. Give me a third one.
3 diamonds. 1998.
Liberace over here. Liberace.
I am Glenn Campbell.
He's Liberace over there, and he can work on cars.
Yeah.
Yeah. More or less than 8 Grammy Awards for Carlos.
He better have more.
4 diamonds.
Oh my God.
It's raining diamonds in here.
Yeah.
It's raining.
Oh.
It's diamond days. Okay,
Yeah,
that's all I
That's
got.
4 for 4. How about that
Yeah,
for Sip?
yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well, Rick,
Huge.
before I let you go, Rick, what's going on right now at Sauter Hayman Jewelers?
Starting today through the end of the month, get a diamond, get a Yeti cooler. Hey, you want to be the cool cat at your tailgate? Come on in, get her the diamond she wants, and you're going to get a Yeti. Now, if you spend $1,500, you're going to get the smaller one. If you spend $3,000, you're going to get the big one. These aren't cheap. These are the real deal. So get into Sauter Hayman, Lincoln and Grand Island, starting today. Check us out at SauterHayman.com and on Facebook at Sauter Hayman, and I'll post some more about this song on my personal Facebook at Rick Hayman.
All right, Rick. Well, great song today. Thank you for the time. We will chat with you again next week.
Bye-bye.
There's Rick Hayman of Sauter Hayman Jewelers.
Great appearance by him.
Song of the day, Game of Love by Santana and Michelle Branch from 2002.
2002.
20 years ago. Yep.
I still think of that as new music. I do. Oddly enough.
I was in middle school, if it makes you feel better.
Yeah.
When that song came
I don't know if that makes me feel better, but that's interesting.
Not new at all. I was in middle school.
2002.
I'm 31 right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mike Schaefer and Sue for the full hour next on Early Break in the Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
If you need to sell equipment and trucks, Ritchie Brothers' new Lincoln Satellite Yard lets you free up space at your property and get local access to all Ritchie Brothers auctions. Drop your equipment off and sell it online at any Ritchie Brothers auction, Iron Planet, or via Marketplace E. The yard is at 8801 US 6 Lincoln. It's secure and makes for easy in-person buyer inspections and pickup. Take advantage of this yard to sell at Ritchie Brothers' Great Plains Regional Auction, September 15th and 16th. For details, visit rbauction.com/Lincoln.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and things are cooking in Louisville. Right now, our pre-owned sales are off the charts, and we have loaded up the lots full of inventory. We've got a great supply of Sierras, Silverados, Tahoes, Yukons, and crossovers. Plus, we've got a great supply of back-to-school cars just in time for the big day. Don't forget about all of those new 2022 and 2023 units arriving every day as well. So please take that short, money-saving drive down 144th Street or shop online at CoppellCars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Happy New Year! That's months away. Just practicing. And I entered the Nebraska Lottery's Powerball First Millionaire of the Year promotion through September 12th. Buy a Powerball with Power Play ticket and enter the voucher number to win a trip to New York City for New Year's Eve 2022 and a chance at $1 million. Oh, that's great. Got another horn? Just a noisemaker. Yeah, that'll do.
Powerball top prize odds 1 in 292 million. Today's play of the day comes from Nebraska. We pick it up with the local sports announcer at a Nebraska lottery retailer.
Dave enters the store. He makes a move to the checkout counter. Looks like he's going to pass. Yes, he's passing the clerk a few dollars. The clerk takes the handoff and spins around. It looks like he's placed the scratch tickets on the counter, and now Dave has them in his hand. It's the old Scratcherooski. He scratches left. He scratches right. Oh, my! He's done it! Dave has scored a bundle of cash.
Play is good. Go play. Odds vary by game.
Bauer Infrastructure is a new name from a well-established brand, and they're paving the way to progress. And they're hiring. Bauer Infrastructure is hiring truck drivers, carpenters, truck mechanics, and equipment operators. And they have industry-leading benefits to maintain a work-life balance. Bauer offers paid time off and paid holidays, a matching 401k plan, medical, dental, vision, life, and disability insurance, a clothing allowance, and more. Start your new career today by applying at BauerInfrastructure.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club, or space club, and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about a margarita club? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge and join the best club in town. 10 flavors of margaritas like Maui Wowie, burnt pineapple, and mango tango. Try all 10 of them and receive your own souvenir margarita glass. Make it your new Monday night tradition. $4 margaritas and $4 taco baskets. Grab the crew and head on over Monday nights or any night. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy and healthy Labor Day weekend. We are thankful for all the hard workers in this country that make it great and celebrate with them all with well-deserved time off this weekend. This important message comes to you from Bart, Mike, and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialist here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services on the air because they care.
Trendy or traditional, Gary Michaels Clothiers specializes in men's tailored clothing. Off the rack or custom made to measure, there is simply no better shopping experience. Offering designer furnishings, sportswear, shoes, outerwear, and accessories for a man always concerned at looking his best. With world-class tailoring and personal service, all makes Gary Michaels Clothiers Nebraska's premier store for men. Come visit us now at Village Gardens, south of 56th and Pine Lake Road in Lincoln.
The dog days of summer are here. Is your yard in need of a touch-up as we head into the fall season? August, September, and October are the months for aeration, and Penner Sprinkler and Lawn is the place to call to get the job done right. If you're noticing any issues with your sprinkler system through the hot summer months, they're always a call away, and they're already scheduling installs for sprinkler systems for next year and all other lawn care needs. Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn today at 402-413-1215.
Did you know that the U.S. has added over 1,100 new breweries in the last 18 months? Learn more by shopping at Myers Cork and Bottle, 13th and South, and by tuning in to Thirsty Thursdays with Kevin Myers, because sports are better with a drink in your hand and a friend at your side. Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake.
Because they might have.
I didn't see any.
Well, they don't have Trek CBD. I know they're missing.
They
out,
don't.
So.
Okay. Did that help? Did Trek CBD help you through that ball game by chance?
I didn't.
Schaefer.
I wish before the start of that game I would have used it. By the time it would have hit in, you'd have been in the third quarter, where the
issues began.
The ridiculous sort of run starting at about
9 minutes.
The 11-minute mark, because that's when they score the first touchdown.
I'll get this for you.
Or that's when they get the ball back. They score that first touchdown, and then you get the fumble recovery followed by the Grant touchdown, which I don't know that he's gotten enough credit for. How good he was on that run. You disagree that he was good on that run? No, you were making noises, so I was curious.
I made noises for Sip.
He made the noise.
I made the noise. Sip because you weren't as impressed as you thought you'd be with Anthony Grant in general in the game.
He's fine. I just want to see more.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that he had a great day, but on that run, if you go back and look,
run.
I mean,
Yeah.
the hole opens up. He gets met at like 4 yards into the hole, makes a move on that guy, breaks the tackle, picks the right angle, and beats everybody to
And
the
then
end.
it's 28-17.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if his day overall was phenomenal, but on that run,
Oh, I'll tell you this.
it showed you that he has home run potential.
I'll tell you
I
this.
agree.
He got a couple Rex Burkhead-esque first downs early in that game on third.
Like
and
when he
short.
was basically attacked 4 yards behind the line of
and
scrimmage.
still made it
Yeah.
to the stick.
Yeah. So I mean,
So yeah, I need to give him more credit. Schaefer's giving him credit for that long run, duly noted. I'm giving him credit for getting to the sticks on a couple third downs.
I know exactly one of them. I know exactly what you're talking about because I feel like he was hit in the backfield by one guy, got out of that, and then drug another across the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And you're thinking to yourself, well, that's great to see, but you'd like him to get forward before he has to meet contacts.
Well, that's on an offensive line that is under the microscope.
Well, maybe it's not as simple as they needed to have the right attitude going into every play.
Yeah, I don't know if they have the. We'll see if they have the guys.
If they don't have the guys here, I mean, this is other than Trent Hickson, they went out and recruited all of these individuals.
Mhm.
They were all relatively highly ranked. I mean, Turner Corcoran was a top 100
right.
player. Ben Hart was a top 150
Yeah.
player.
Prohaska.
Teddy Prohaska, depending on which service you use, was a top 200 player.
Those guys have 2-3 more years left in the program.
Yeah, no, and I think they're going to get better, but it's also just like I really don't want to do the talent thing anymore.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't think talent's an issue for this team. I didn't think it was last year when they went 3-9. Like it's, I mean,
well, yeah, I get that.
So to me, like up front, like you have the guys that you seek out that you want to develop. Like this is, and Turner Corcoran's in his third year with the program now.
Yeah,
Teddy
playing.
Prohaska's in his second year and his third start. Like that's a guy that I'm willing to give a ton of grace to.
Yeah.
Ben Hart a little bit less.
13 games. I
Yeah.
think.
I mean, so some of these guys, you really, if you're Nebraska, you kind of need them to take it and go with it.
Yeah, starting Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah. 2 days from now is kind of important.
Oh, God, the tone you use there.
I'm curious, Schaefer, in general, following that game, now looking forward.
I can't even follow that.
So I don't know what your official prediction was before the season of wins and losses.
6-6.
Okay. So how much, what's the effect of the loss to Northwestern now on that record? And, and your thoughts on how the season will go in
That was a
general.
win, right? Did you have that as a win?
I had it as a win. I mean, they can still go 6-6 because I had them losing to Rutgers. So I had them losing a similar type game at some point this season. Because I just don't trust this team. I thought that they could get I thought that they could get out of Ireland with a win, and I still feel like they should have, but they obviously didn't. I still think they can get to 6-6. I don't think the season is completely kaput, but you just lost whatever trust that you didn't really earn from the fan base is gone.
Yeah.
You have people that I mean, there's people I know that had really kind of talked themselves into being excited, and then it plays out how it did. You have a head coach that no one trusts at this point. I mean, I don't think his offensive staff can trust him. I don't think his players can trust him. I don't know that he can trust himself. Like, I mean, it's
a bad place to be.
It's a total. I mean, trust is the word for me at this point in time, and I don't know that Nebraska deserves much from anybody, and they're going to have to go earn that week by week.
How's the message board?
Oh boy.
Oh, they're done.
Oh boy.
They're done. I mean, I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it. People are absolutely furious and they're over it. And Frost's comments after the game didn't endear him to anybody. And I don't know what happened on the onside. You could tell me any number of things and I could believe it.
Yeah.
And maybe he is the one that just took the hit for it, which seems a little out of character based on how he's responded with other things in the past. But I don't know. I don't know what happened.
No, he could have said no.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't matter. What happened. And the other thing is they still had a chance to get stops. I mean,
they did.
I don't want to take the onside and make that the whole thing, because to me, I was just baffled by how bad the defense played.
Yeah.
I don't know that I will get over that in a while. I mean, it's one thing, okay, you got guys in different spots. There's the miscommunication touchdown when Omar Brown is out there and Marquise Buford. And they don't know who has who. Okay, that's going to happen. Like, I can live with that. it was the play in the first quarter, or maybe it was the second, but I think it was the first quarter where I watched Nick Henrich meet the guy 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, get run over.
Yep.
Quentin Newsom meets him 3 yards after the line of scrimmage, get run over.
Who was
it
that
takes
running back?
5 Huskers to get Cam Porter, I think, down at that point in time.
4.
I mean, it was absolutely like when I saw that, it was, oh, this is going to be bad when you get to the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
Like, you got to have a lead because you can't let Northwestern just run on you
and
because
they
they're
did.
gonna.
Yeah, they ran 14 straight plays at the end.
And so, I mean, when I saw that play, like that was you file it away kind of thing. And then there was 2 or 3 times where the ball got to the edge of the field on like a dump off pass or whatever, or maybe a design screen, and Nebraska was in position, but their guys just either couldn't break down or were so keyed up that they overran it like 3 straight times. I mean, so there's a part of me that's like, okay, there's a lot of correctable things in there for the defense, but man, what a terrible start. And then the thing that stands out above all of it, how many times did Helinski throw? 35?
What's the number on that?
20.
I got it.
28 to 35.
27 of 38 for 314, 2 touchdowns, no picks, no sacks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, did he get knocked down?
No, he never got touched.
He never got touched. 38.
That is atrocious.
38 attempts.
Like, that is absolutely atrocious. And I don't care that Peter Skoronski is likely to be a top 10 pick. There's 4 other linemen. And it was never. There was maybe one Garrett Nelson moment where it seemed like he was close enough to put a paw on the guy, but not actually.
He never got touched.
Like,
his jersey was clean.
That one is just stark. I mean, really, really stark. And I understand you weren't sending extra pressure because you needed everybody and all of this, but for as much as we spent hyping up, we think the pass rush is going to be pretty good this year. It did not show up.
Disappointing.
Disappointing.
So
majorly. But I go back to the last couple of days, Schaefer. I mean, if you watch the game, you saw Nebraska missed a lot of tackles. PFF said 14 missed tackles. Yet Scott Frost,
feels like it's more than that.
Yet Eric Shenander and Scott Frost both say it was only a few missed tackles. It didn't seem like it was a huge concern. I'm a little bit taken aback by their view of the missed tackles.
Yesterday said a few.
And it was 14 from what PFF assessed, and what my own eyes said. That sounds about right.
Your own Dublin eyes.
My own Dublin eyes.
Those were probably pretty hazy after all the free beer that you were able to put away. I'm sure you felt fine. So
he was fine. I will tell you this.
I saw him at halftime.
I will tell you this. I saw him at halftime. I never would have guessed he was
the fatherly instinct that you feel like you need to cover.
I was fine.
I wouldn't have
clearly making a reference to the Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks concert.
I wouldn't have guessed he was drinking.
Really?
But it was.
I wouldn't have guessed it.
They would have guessed you would have thought the whole stadium was when that got announced.
A lot of drink. I don't know.
I think I started a lot of.
Here's the one thing that I regret from not going over there. That stadium looked absolutely gorgeous.
It was awesome. It was
beautiful.
a beautiful setting.
Yeah, it was.
Brunt said it was. I mean, other than just a horrific Wi-Fi, it was.
No, the Wi-Fi wasn't that bad.
Well, for him, for the whole first half, I mean,
he
couldn't really access it and use it. So.
Whoa.
Yours was fine?
Yeah, that's interesting. I had no.
Were you hogging
problems.
all the Wi-Fi over
No,
there?
I don't think so.
Sounds like you might have been. Sip hogged all the Wi-Fi.
Statistic. No, I mean he just could not for the first half. Just couldn't.
I had to do the old reboot thing, but after I rebooted, it was fine.
I don't know if he ever rebooted.
He should have called the technology wizard.
You?
Yes.
Is that what you call yourself?
Hey, just reboot that thing.
Oh man, I enjoy the third act of life for you is going to be as an IT guy.
Now that I did pay to watch that.
Oh, really?
I'd pay to watch you go the whole process.
Really? You don't think I'm sophisticated
in IT stuff? No. No, I don't think you are at all. Really? I'm not sophisticated in IT
as long
stuff.
as you admit
Don't
that.
you have like multiple stories of needing to call in your grandson to fix something with your TV?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'd pay to watch him be an IT guy.
And then the famous
line. And maybe that'll be the name of it. It'll be Sipple and Grandson IT.
This famous line by Parker where we were both really frazzled at Big Ten Media Days. Schaefer would appreciate this. And I couldn't send a story in for some reason. I just was the mechanical part wasn't working. And we were both frazzled. And I said, Parker, I'm having trouble. Hoping he'd help me. And he said, well, what's the problem? And I couldn't really explain it. And he goes, how do I say this politely? I said, I don't know. And he goes, could it be user error?
I remember that.
In a very Parker tone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do I say this politely?
Yeah. Well,
If someone says that to you, that's trouble.
there's plenty of user error over in Dublin. That
Dublin,
has nothing to do with technology.
User error. What'd you think of Casey Thompson?
You know, I thought he was fine. I do wonder if something happened in the second half, because at least from watching on television, and I don't know if either of you have gone back and rewatched the game, the ball did not look as good coming out of his hand in the second half.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of flutter to it. It was not nearly as tight.
When did that start?
You know, if you
pinpoint,
if you want to go off the numbers, it seems like it started immediately after the Isaiah Garcia Castaneda
long
play.
And there's been people posting footage of a weird high five that maybe would have flared up his thumb. That didn't even hit his
If
thumb.
his thumb is surgically repaired, I couldn't even imagine that would be enough. Like, I think that's people searching, like,
They're
needle
trying
in a
to find
haystack.
something. It's
I mean, he
not
could have
that.
hit it on someone's helmet coming through on a follow through. He could have landed on it kind of weird when he got knocked around, but it just didn't. The ball didn't look as good in the second half.
Better
But
watch that.
still, there was several throws, including both interceptions, that felt like either Nebraska's receiver should have caught, or in Oliver Martin's case, like, should have at least got a hand on that ball. You know, he just didn't have his head around. So
he didn't.
I thought, you know, I think Casey's going to play well enough. I think Nebraska's offense is going to be able to put up points. I mean, they put up 28 against the Northwestern defense that's usually at least solid. I mean, even last year they weren't good, but it's the first game of the year. You still put up 28. I mean, I think that I'm not too worried about their ability to at least move the ball. We'll see what it's like in the red zone. Once again, you brought in Jockey Ant and he can't score. I mean, I think he has like somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 carries inside the 10-yard line and 1 touchdown to show for it. So that's a concern. But I think they'll be able to put up points. I like Casey Thompson so far from what I've seen. The receivers concern me greatly. They
Really?
just they don't have
Drops.
enough of them.
Well, there's drops issues.
Get Omar Manning back. That'll help, right?
Will it?
I think so.
Should be.
I mean, I don't know what Omar Manning is. I really don't.
We had
Is
24
is
catches
he a
last year.
better player than he was last year, or is that what you're going to get from him?
Well, at 24, if he gets 24 this year, that's helping.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying he can't help, but I don't know that it's going to be, and I don't know how much of him you're going to get. Like, there's been an issue almost every year he's been here.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I think we'll see him.
Yeah.
Well, Frost said he would. So
well, and maybe we see Ramir Johnson at the legendary wide back position. That was a weird thing to take away from Saturday. That a guy that, you know, every coach goes out of their way to talk about what a valuable piece he is to your team. He doesn't play at all.
maybe that's a red flag when that happens.
So, you know, I don't know why he didn't play. I'm not sure, but I would like to see him against North Dakota. I almost said Fordham. I just have like,
Fordham.
I have,
It feels
just
like
because it's
Fordham.
deja vu of
Yeah.
last year. I'm just ready to talk about Fordham and their like 4 walls of granite or whatever it was. So
Fordham had that crazy good linebacker, right?
Oh yeah, Ryan Greenhaven.
Greenhagen.
He had like
Yeah,
30
it's
tackles in the game, right? That was
They also
awesome.
had a kid from Millard West, I think, James Conway, was on that
great
Fordham
name.
team
Great
randomly.
Do you know any Nebraska guys on North Dakota? I haven't
Not
looked
off
at
the top
roster.
of my head.
Okay.
I don't. I mean, compared to the South Dakota State, North Dakota State, South Dakota, they tend to get a lot less players.
Do they?
But I'm sure they have a guy or two on that roster. What else from the offense? I mean, I was high on Isaiah Garcia Castaneda. I think he looked really good. I think Trey Palmer looked solid. You know, you got to fix some of those drops. Marcus Washington had a bad drop on that last drive, but you know, he's someone that certainly is going to be involved. I worry if something happens to one of those guys. It's so thin. Like there's really, I guess, Alante Brown sort of back there, but it gets really thin after that top 3.
You need to keep those guys healthy.
Yeah, so if they're able to stay healthy all year, that will really help. But that seems like a big if when you're talking about wide receiver play.
I see a couple guys from Omaha and
Okay.
Nebraska. I see Marcus Vaughn Jones from Creighton Prep, senior for North Dakota. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but at least they have a couple there at least. So all right, so Schaefer, I have a task. You've gone through a couple things here, but if you had to list in what was a terrible game for Nebraska, 3-point loss, 0-1, 3 positives. Just list out the 3 positives you take away from that game that you're looking forward to Nebraska building on.
I was good with the offense that Mark Whipple had for the most part.
One.
I mean, so that's one. I think that offense can move the ball and be relatively successful. So I'll start with that. I mean, that one worked for me. 2 would be Travis Vokalek, which fits in that offense. I mean, I think that was a huge missing piece in the second half.
Yeah.
When he went out with an injury, I feel like you can kind of denote how little they moved the ball after that, which is
For
a
sure.
concern that he's that big of a piece. And yet at the same time, if he's healthy and you have those three receivers that I think all look pretty good, and then you have him in there.
The three, you're talking about Palmer, Washington, and Isaiah Garcia-Castaneda.
Yeah. So, I mean, it gives you 4 on a given play, 4 pass catchers that clearly Casey Thompson trusts.
Yeah.
Which I think is important. So those two things jump out. And then, I mean, the easiest one, Brian Buschini made the punting game fixed all by himself.
Stud.
Quite frankly, I was surprised. Some of the conversation after the game on the message board, people seem to think the special teams had a bad day outside of the onside kick, and I don't necessarily see that.
Like Frankie's kick for the field goal almost went in 56
They
yards.
didn't get the
It's hard
big
to ask
return. They didn't do.
No, they didn't have any
Well,
returns
and they
at all.
had the one dumb return where they got stopped at the 17, and those are the kinds of things that you need to stop doing. But their coverage unit did well. You had 4 punts inside the 20. You ran against a Northwestern punter that just was able to do what he needed to do. Like, some people were mad that Oliver Martin let that one go that got down to the 2. Well, the ball traveled past the 8.
Right.
And like, that's where
Can't
last
catch it.
year,
Can't catch
I mean, I remember being on this show and just absolutely going after JD Spielman for always catching the ball on the 5. And I hated that.
Right.
So
Can't catch it there.
Right. And so I think overall the special teams had a pretty good day.
Frankie was booted into the end zone too.
And this field goal kick was not bad. It just barely missed right.
Yeah, I would
Didn't
like to have
barely.
seen Bleak Road on a field goal attempt just to see it.
Right.
Yep. Didn't have a chance.
It was funny because like Brendan Frankie comes out and the ESPN announcers announced it as Bleak Road.
Well,
and obviously
naturally.
we don't have like enough of a gauge. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't think that's Bleak Road because I don't remember the big arm tattoo that's very visible there right
Put on
now.
about 30
When I
pounds.
saw this guy at Fan Day, I didn't walk away thinking, oh, he's got a pretty big arm tattoo.
Something's changed in the
Bleak
last
Road,
week or two.
Bleak Road's my size.
Yeah, Bleak Road's 47, I think.
Yeah. By the way, how was the broadcast?
It was fine. I mean,
They weren't there. I didn't know that till yesterday.
Oh,
The guys weren't there.
they did a lot
they were
better.
not there.
Oh, that's
I mean,
BS.
No, it's not because it's
I'm
true.
saying that's stupid. If that's the
No,
case.
they were.
compared to when Nebraska basketball gets
Yeah.
put on ESPN Productions where they're not there and you can tell they're clearly not there, I honestly wouldn't have been able to.
Yeah,
guess
they
that.
weren't there. They weren't on site.
That's dumb. They should have been there
Why does that bother you so?
because they didn't get to see. They didn't actually understand the atmosphere. They didn't get it.
But the broadcast was okay.
Yeah, I also thought that Isaiah Garcia Castaneda was down, and I feel like it was
Ooh.
fairly conclusive on the replays. So.
Really?
Oh, I think he was down. I don't think it was that conclusive on the replay.
I think it was enough from the back angle that you see his knee is down and the ball's still crooked in his arm. It hasn't been ripped out yet.
Interesting. See, I mean, we were at the stadium and they're showing they were showing on the replay boards, and you can kind of,
Yeah.
it's not like seeing on high def in your
It's a
living
little
room.
bit different when you're able, I imagine, to just focus on it on
Right.
a TV in your basement.
I did
without
think it
everything
was
else.
questionable. Like with the first replay I saw, I was like, ooh, I don't know if that's a fumble. That was my first reaction.
I feel like you can see his knee slide just a little bit before that ball gets pulled out. But, I mean, they still had multiple opportunities to overcome that anyways. But that's the only other thing I can think of. With
From the
broadcast.
text line, most people were saying another positive was penalties. 1 for 5
Oh, yeah.
yards.
That's a really good. I mean,
First game, they only had one penalty.
No offensive penalties.
No
at all.
offensive penalties.
you didn't have your dumb false starts.
Uh-huh.
You didn't have your crippling personal fouls or your crippling holding calls.
What
at
was the
wrong
one
time.
penalty? I forget. What was the one?
Ty Robinson jumped offside.
Offsides. Okay.
Yep.
That's right.
It was a pretty important down
was,
too.
yeah.
It was a 3rd and long that got
They
to
needed
be a 3rd
stops.
and short.
They needed
and they were
stops.
running a stunt that it looked like could be interesting because he was switching. I think he was switching outside and someone was coming inside of him. But yeah, that was an interesting development when you only have one penalty for 5. I mean, Northwestern looked like the undisciplined team for once.
They
on
had
Saturday.
8 penalties. Yeah, 8. Yeah, 8.
They did at times.
Yeah.
At times. Yeah, I regard that as a bizarre stat that Nebraska didn't have any offensive penalties.
Because you're not used to it.
Right.
Think about last year, the Oklahoma game. Was it 3 straight false starts to start the game? Was it 3 straight? It was 2 for sure.
No, I mean,
to start the game.
There's definitely positives in there, and if the flipped result was Nebraska 31, Northwestern 28, there'd be some grumbles, but people would at least acknowledge like they got out of there with a win.
I don't want to start a fight with you guys, but Jake referred to this as a terrible. I don't know why, but I don't regard it as a terrible loss. I know I'm going to get attacked. That's fine. But I don't, when I say this, Jake said it's a terrible loss. I don't know.
You were the one that was putting Northwestern down all off season.
Yeah.
That's why.
No, that's not why.
I respect
aesthetically.
And if you respect Northwestern, that just adds to the notion that it's not a terrible loss.
It's
so
terrible.
Quit arguing against yourself.
It's
please.
terrible for Nebraska to have been seen by the entire nation and lose once
You
again.
spent the offseason propping up Northwestern, and now you call this 3-point loss a terrible loss.
It's terrible
which
because
doesn't
they lost.
exactly line up.
Well, it's not. It's terrible because they lost when the whole nation was watching. Very first game.
I
of
enjoyed the
season.
game.
So did I.
I think it.
This mean it wasn't a terrible loss, though.
I think from an aesthetic standpoint, it was a better. This sounds insane, and I'm not trying to spin this, but it was a better loss than last year's Illinois.
That was a terrible loss.
They didn't show up in that game.
Now, hold on.
Now,
that was a
at
terrible
the same
loss.
time, Sybil, here's where it looks terrible.
Okay.
Go look at the amount of yards Northwestern
That's
put on
true.
Nebraska.
That's
this
true.
season.
I cannot argue
Quite
with that.
frankly, the thing that I
can't
struggle
argue
with the
that.
most is just how poor the defense
Right,
played against a team that,
528.
frankly, I thought they matched up well with.
Yeah. Oh, I can't argue with 528. That was the yardage total.
So, I mean,
yeah,
that's
you're right.
where,
You're
you
right.
know, if people are walking away feeling even worse about that loss, I think it had a lot to do with how bad the defense played.
I have a lot of concerns right now about Nebraska, but the up front, I'm more concerned coming out than I was going in.
For the
both sides.
Oh, I mean,
both sides.
We've talked about this endlessly. To win in the Big Ten West, you have to run the ball and you have to stop the run. They couldn't.
Both sides.
They ran the ball okay, not good, and they did not stop.
If you're a Nebraska fan, what you hope is that the game's length and the fact that Northwestern ran 85 plays is what caused that Northwestern just flexed in a big way late because Nebraska
Here's
was
the
wearing
problem
down.
with that. Nebraska is just not a good enough defense to get off the field. They weren't
That-
last year,
I totally-
and it feels like they're a
Right.
worse version of. I thought they were going to play a different style.
You can't
You
put
switch
this.
to scheme.
Yeah.
You talk about being aggressive, and you play the same baby passive aggressive way that you have for the last.
But
few
you
years.
can't put this on the offensive tempo. Totally. You have to say
Oh,
they
I
didn't
don't
get
think-
off the field.
I don't think the tempo's an issue at all.
What people are making.
They
an
weren't
issue.
challenging wide receivers. They
Right.
weren't.
They have to get off the
forcing
field
North-
on third down.
Like you have to put pressure on a quarterback in one way or another.
Oh God, though, I got to be careful. We got to be careful, Shave. Northwestern was only 7 for 17 on third down, so they were getting off sometimes.
That's still over 40%, is it not?
Yeah.
You want to be traditionally in the 30% range.
It's not
and
great. It's
two
not
of
great.
those third downs they didn't convert. They ran a 3rd and 10 toss sweep in the red zone and a 3rd and 8 just up the middle to take field goals.
Yeah,
So
you're right. That's a good point.
So they're 7 of 15 on downs
you
where it
can
felt
only-
like they didn't wave the white flag.
Yeah, you can almost say 9. I mean,
So
9 for 17.
It's a deal to me where I can't continue to watch players like Arthur Sikowski and Tanner Morgan and
fair.
Ryan Holinsky just get all time to throw.
Yep.
They have so much
Right.
time and they have so much space to throw to these games.
Yeah, they did.
Like they cannot play this style of defense and win games. They can't.
I totally.
I mean,
can't
you can
disagree.
maybe beat Indiana doing this. I don't think you're going to beat Rutgers if you play this
Purdue.
way.
Purdue.
You're definitely not beating Purdue, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa if you play this kind of defense.
Now this kind of defense, they're not getting beat deep. They seem really vulnerable in the middle of the field.
Yeah. Well,
unders.
Because if
Under
you have to sell out to run, and what did Northwestern do? They just ran RPOs. So you freeze those linebackers continuously. Nick Henrich is probably not a good enough athlete to have to cover a tight end all the way across the field.
Or running back.
I mean, it's not a good matchup for him.
It's trouble.
And I don't think that they have the plug and play to swap other guys in to get past
I'll
that.
tell you something. Holinsky had the look of a quarterback who was extremely confident in game
He had
plan.
the look of a quarterback playing 7-on-7.
Yeah,
That's about as damning of a thing as you can
Right.
say about a pass rush.
I think he was very well prepared in the game plan, fit him, and he was very confident in the game plan.
You got to give a ton of credit to Northwestern. They put together a game plan where they knew it would stress Nebraska's linebackers, and they just hammered that over and over and over. They didn't worry about taking deep shots because they didn't care about it.
Right.
They knew they could hit crossers. They knew they were going to get open guys in the flat. They bet on Nebraska not being able to make simple tackles. And they won.
If you have questions,
They won.
If you've got questions for Mike Schaefer, please call or text 402-464-5685. More next on Early Break on the Ticket.
Mark your calendars for the St. Wenceslas Brewfest on Saturday, September 10th in Milligan. Savor a delicious selection of Czech beer and cuisine while listening to live bands. And there's kids' activities too. It's the St. Wenceslas Brewfest on September 10th in Milligan.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs. There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. Summer is here, and that means you're having garage parties with neighbors, hitting the golf course and the pool. The drink of this summer isn't your typical seltzer. It's drinkable Delta 8. Yep, Trek CBD has drinkable Delta 8 seltzers with mango and lime flavors for 4-packs, 12-packs, coming in a variety of mango, watermelon, lime, and berry. They also have hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups to put in your beverages, and as always, the excellent Delta 8 gummies. Trek CBD at 84th and Andermatt and TrekCBD.com. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
Warhorse Casino is bringing winning opportunities to Lincoln. Get in on the action at our next job fair, Tuesday, September 6th from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Husker Marriott. We're hiring trailblazers in every department: revenue auditors, IT, drop team, beverage servers, and more. Every employee is treated like family, and every role is essential in creating a one-of-a-kind experience. Go to warhorsecasino.com for more information or to apply.
Casey's General Stores is giving away 2 tickets to each Nebraska football home game this season. To enter, just head to any Casey's General Store location in Lincoln during the football season, scan the QR code at the front counter, and fill out the online form. One winner will be chosen at random 2 days before that week's game. So head over to Casey's, stock up on all your tailgating snacks and drinks, and register to win 2 tickets to a Nebraska football game, brought to you by Casey's General Store and 93.7 The Ticket.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, buying a used vehicle sucks, and the biggest problem is who can you trust? Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto out here at West O Street in Lincoln. Here's what customers have told us they want from us. They want transparent pricing with no games. We have all of our pricing on our website, plus a Carfax report. We don't want to buy a lemon. We include a 3-month warranty on all of our vehicles. We don't want to play games. Just make it simple. You saw that with non-commissioned salespeople. Can you trust us? Just check out our Google reviews. Again, this is Carl from Price Right Auto in West O. Check us out at pricerightauto.com.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, call 988 for free, confidential, and compassionate support. On July 16th, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is transitioning to 988. There is hope. For 24/7 support, call, text, or chat 988.
Sponsored by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Anybody who knows me knows I was cocky out of the womb.
Is Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We'll get to a phone call in just a second. Before that, just saw this from Brett McMurphy that Washington is scheduled to meet with the Big Ten about potentially joining the conference.
Washington makes sense, right?
The Huskies.
Yeah. Thank you, Jake.
You're welcome. Just making sure you knew that.
That makes sense, right?
Kalen DeBoer.
It doesn't really do a lot for me.
No, they're staying out west. The Big Ten.
Yeah. USC,
staying out
UCLA,
west.
Washington.
Yeah, you think Oregon might jump in there?
If Washington gets out, I think Oregon would want
Wouldn't
to
you
jump
think
in
so?
a heartbeat. Yeah.
So maybe you keep that.
I'd rather go east and south.
Where are you thinking?
Give me Miami. Give me Florida State.
Really?
Give me something
Really?
like that.
I'm
Give
not
me a
opposed to
brand.
it.
I want brands.
That'd be cool.
I don't care about making sure that USC and UCLA have someone within 10,000 miles of them. Doesn't matter to me.
The ACC
I want helmets and I want brands, and I don't think Washington really does a lot.
ACC's problematic, as you know, because they're linked into their deal till 2036.
Yeah,
it would cost them $100 million, is what I read, to get out.
Well, then you can make that money up by joining the Big Ten.
It's all monopoly money anyway.
Yeah, it is.
I don't mind staying out west for some reason. Washington is a
I like Utah.
premier institution.
It's nothing against the University of Washington. I know plenty of people that went out to that game in, what was it, 2010?
Whatever it was.
And loved it,
Mega Stadium.
2010 is correct.
I think they fit like the brand. It
Yeah.
just doesn't personally excite me compared to going and getting a better helmet, more or less.
Okay.
And I don't know that Washington is the type of, and maybe with DeBoer, who's a really good coach. I don't know that Washington is the type of place that is going to pop up and have like a really strong run in a loaded conference.
Let's get Chris Peterson again.
He was
Don James would disagree with you.
I think he was pretty happy, just chilling on the set of Big Noon Kickoff.
Yeah, he's not coming back.
No, he's not coming back.
Maybe Kalen DeBoer can be Chris Peterson.
Yeah, it's possible.
Chris Peterson, I've heard him on the radio many times. He's not coming back to coach.
Well,
no.
Doesn't have to.
He seems quite happy with his life.
Yeah.
And
I'm
he was
happy
quite
for him.
unhappy with his coaching life. So.
He was.
But he had a
Thank
great
you,
career.
Schaefer.
He had a great career.
He was a very good coach. Very good coach. But
Washington Huskies, I can't, Schaefer, I'm not excited by it. I mean, I'm
okay. So we now need a barometer. Is there a team that would excite
USC excited me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they're already in. Who's after that though?
I'm just saying USC excited
Would
me.
Miami excite you?
Excited?
Florida State? You love Florida State?
No. Miami kind of I'd be more.
It'd be pretty cool to see the helmet matchup
Yeah.
of Miami and Michigan going to South Beach in November before they got to play.
that would get me close to excited. Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miami
not
does
much
it.
Florida State.
Notre Dame and Miami are my two. Those are my two wants.
The Miami market would be fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
South
Nebraska playing Miami on Black Friday every year.
Let's do it.
Okay,
Count
now
me
I'm
in.
trending toward excited.
I'll make the trip.
Instead, you're getting Washington.
it's by a lake.
There's the ocean. Lake, ocean. Come on.
Well, there's a big lake by the stadium.
Sure,
that's what
yeah.
I'm saying.
Don't care.
There's also a bigger body of water over in the area.
Got
too.
it. Got the
Let's
geography.
get a call from John on the
John.
Honda of Lincoln Hotline 464-5685. John, you're on early break. Go ahead.
Good morning. A very calm and peaceful morning to you guys.
Oh God, yes. We're trying to keep it.
Yeah, I have a question. It's for Sip, but there was one coach that I wish we had on game day at our games, and he's from Nebraska, or somebody like him anyway. This Mike Eckler. Sip, did you ever get to interview him?
Just a few times.
We had him on the show.
Yeah. John, I know Mike really well.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I know Mike really well.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. No, I know Mike really well.
Yeah. He ran into a post to get the Kansas State team fired up and bloodied himself, and then ran down the field to bust a wedge. I'm sure like that guy.
Yeah, he's doing quite well at Tennessee, John, as their special teams coordinator, and their special teams were strong last year. We'll see how they are. We'll see how they are this year. I imagine they'll be fine. Tennessee's supposed to be pretty good.
Heard that before.
Well, that's all I got. Great show.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
Thank you, John. Well, Bill Bush, I think, is doing a good job with Nebraska's special teams, right? We just talked about it. We don't need to elaborate.
I came away other than the onsides, which who knows? Again, I don't know what happened there. So other than that, I mean, they looked how you'd need them to look, right? Like they're not going to hurt you. I mean, maybe you want a little bit more help in terms of the return game. But
I want to see more from that.
You know, if you trade that off for just baseline competence that wasn't there in all of 2021, I think
there was baseline competence for sure.
On Saturday.
Yeah.
Are you aware that there's a big game tonight, Schaefer? Purdue,
it's huge.
Purdue, Penn State.
It's one of the most excited I've been for an opening game since Purdue played Northwestern that one year, and I was high on both teams. And I think Northwestern ended up making the Big Ten title game. I think Purdue is going to beat Penn State tonight.
They're 3.5-point underdogs at home, which we're
There's
concerned
actually
by
a couple
that.
interesting Big Ten games.
We're confused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
Words
couple.
are not concerned.
There's a couple interesting Big Ten games this weekend. You have that one, and then you have Illinois is actually an underdog to Indiana, which is a surprise to me because Nebraska fans aren't going to love to hear this. I thought Illinois looked pretty solid on Saturday.
They did. Did you watch that game?
Yeah, enough of it to see that they're going to run on Nebraska. And they have a quarterback They have a quarterback that's more than happy to take the 5-yard open throw. So I don't think they have a very, very tough schedule. I don't know that they're going to be a bowl team, but Illinois is not going to be an easy out.
Purdue,
Indiana's a favorite in that.
I don't know.
Bizarre.
Now, maybe I'm just an idiot.
Their quarterback
Actually,
has improved this year.
I harp on this. Jake gets tired of it, but Purdue needs to win this game because
it would set them up really well.
Their schedule's tough.
After the big, I'm just going to go Big Ten schedule. At Minnesota. Now, you don't want to start 0-2, and they would be in danger of that if they lose to Penn State. And then they go to Maryland. I'd say danger of 0-3 at that point, right?
See, I think they're going to be 3-0 at that point.
Ooh. And then Nebraska, and then at Wisconsin.
3-1.
Yeah, see, those are tricky games, though. Wouldn't you agree that they're tricky?
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, there's a lot of ways their season can go.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to figure out how they're going to replace David Bell and
And
Karlaftis.
Mickey. And
we've spent all offseason talking about the guys Nebraska has to replace, and they're replacing two absolute Big Ten studs. And that's not easy for a place like Purdue. So we'll see what they can come up with. But I think Aiden O'Connell's good.
I do too.
And I think Jeff Brown's a pretty good coach. And I think Purdue's going to catch Penn State tonight, and they're going to win.
Jeez.
Are you surprised they're 3.5-point underdogs in their home field to Penn State? I don't buy Penn State.
Penn State 11-11 in the last 2 years.
I don't believe
honestly,
in Penn State at all.
That feels like it's a Penn State's a more public team than Purdue, so you kind of have the line set that way, and you protect yourself a little bit because I don't think anyone knows what Penn State is.
It's basically a toss-up, Jake, because Purdue's a 3.5 on home field, 3 for home field, toss-up.
They definitely think it's going to be a touchdown game.
It'd be a.
Oh, you're right.
No,
6 points.
Yeah,
what am I talking
thinking
about?
of it?
The opposite.
So
they're saying that if it was at
6-point edge,
which I wouldn't guess either. But I don't believe in Penn State this year.
I don't buy those guys. I don't believe in Penn State.
11.
I have them fourth, I think, in the East.
11-11.
Behind
Michigan and Michigan State
and Ohio State.
I'll try it one more time. 11-11 in the last 2 years.
Yeah, I got you. Penn State's average, not good anymore. Let's play the game. So give us a call right now at 464-5685. Your chance to win a business box of bagels to Bagels and Joe. SIP is 2-1 on the week, and it has been reset. So this is the new season.
Oh, nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, he's got off to a good start.
Thank you.
It is a throwback Thursday to Nebraska Week 1 opponents since 2000.
So no, this is
Who has Nebraska played in their first game of the season since the year 2000?
I feel okay about this.
I feel awful.
Let's see how it goes.
I put games in my rearview mirror.
Mark that as a drop.
Yeah.
I feel awful.
750. You got it. Okay, 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple starts right now.
We've all been there. You're listening to the radio, and then that rage starts to grow inside of you. It starts to consume you. It gets to a point where you just want to yell, "Shut up, Sipple!" No, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, here's your chance. It's time to shut up, Sipple. Call now to play. 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
All right, 464-5685. Call the Dick Down Sip in trivia. He does not feel good at all about Nebraska's Week 1 opponent since the year 2000.
I mean, I'll explain. Schaefer probably knows guys like this, or women too, I suppose. I put games out of my mind once they're over. I just move on quick. I always have for some reason. Eric Olson of the AP, I've had this Associated Press.
Okay, yeah.
I've had this conversation.
Thank you. I know what the AP stands for.
With him. He does the same thing. He doesn't remember games very well.
I think seasons tend to run together for me, but if I can focus in, I'm pretty sure I can go back at least in the years that I've covered the team and tell you the opener.
Get one for me then.
All right, let's do it.
We're going to try.
Rob, how do you feel about Nebraska's Week 1 opponents since 2000?
Not very good.
Okay, Rob, we're on even ground.
Schaefer's a lifeline for Sip for one question. Use them wisely. Sip, as always. All right, Rob, first question goes to you. What Pac-10 team, yes, Pac-10 team back then, did Nebraska beat 48-10 at Memorial Stadium to begin the 2002 football season?
I got that one.
Yeah, I don't think I know that one.
You're going to pass?
Yeah.
Okay.
That team had a great pass rusher. I remember that guy coming off the edge. I don't know if he had a big game, but he was a big presence. I think that was I'm trying to think who the head coach was. I think his last name was Snyder. I think he was still there. Maybe not. But it's Arizona State.
And was it Terrell Suggs, the pass rusher?
God, Jake, you were incredible.
Terrell Suggs.
Yeah, Suggs. They had a great.
I don't remember that game at all.
You think Snyder is still there?
Was Snyder maybe?
Yeah, who was
I don't think he was. Now that you mention it,
Arizona State's had 400 different coaches in the last 20 years.
He might have been long gone.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I don't even know an Arizona State coach named.
Who would have that?
Snyder? What are you talking about? Who's Snyder?
Google it, please. Google Snyder.
I think it was the guy that ended up being a head coach in the NFL at one point.
I think
Dirk Cutter.
Yeah, it was Dirk Cutter.
Dirk Cutter.
You're incredible.
That's what I'm thinking. It was Dirk.
Yeah, it was
Cutter.
definitely Dirk Cutter.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind it was Dirk Cutter.
Okay.
2002 was Dirk Cutter.
I don't know where that name
Snyder.
came
Please Google.
Second year, Dirk Cutter was the coach of Arizona State.
How about that? I don't know where I got that from, but I did. All right, Sip. 1-0 lead.
1-0. Schaefer's in
They were
play.
8-6 that year, so they weren't bad.
Schaefer's in play.
Okay. What FCS team did Nebraska beat 25-7 at Memorial Stadium to begin the 2005 football season?
2005, 25-7, Maine. Hello.
Maine Black Bears is correct.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. I don't feel good about this
I didn't.
topic
I
over
wasn't
here.
laying in the weeds. I didn't feel good.
I want to say that was like Steve Octavian's first game, and he had like a really big one.
Bo Root,
I got my wisdom teeth
Bo
out.
Root had a pick six or a fumble six in that game. One of the two.
I had my wisdom teeth out that the Friday before that game, so I was eating Jell-O watching it. That's what I remember.
Okay. Rob, to stay alive, your last question down 2-0. What Missouri Valley FCS team did Nebraska beat 56-17 at Memorial Stadium to begin the 2004 season, Bill Callahan's first year?
Why'd you give him a hint? Missouri Valley?
It's an FCS team. At that point.
2004.
Say it again.
Just trying to think of 2004 season.
Yep. That was Bill Callahan's first game.
Was it Western Illinois?
That is correct. The Leathernecks.
A young Mike Schaefer attended that game. We would have had it.
Okay.
Joe Daly had 4
Right,
picks.
Mike Neege, I still got you.
Yeah.
Joe Daly had 4 picks in that game. Nebraska still won by 1 million. Okay. Schaefer's in play. Use him up 2-1 for the win to clinch a winning week in the reset week. What Sun Belt team did Nebraska beat 49-10 at Memorial Stadium to begin the 2010 football season?
Go ahead, Schaefer.
This was 2010, and it would have been the debut of one Levante David, one Taylor Martinez, and I'm pretty sure they kicked the crap out of the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky.
Nice job.
Pretty
That
sure
was-
like Levante David had 17 tackles
Bam.
to start his career.
And Martinez was awesome in that game, too. All right, that's a win. That's a winning week. No
Yeah.
Bagel Boy. The furthest thing from a Bagel Boy is a winning
Not
week.
the furthest thing, but it's
Pretty, if you win tomorrow, it's the furthest. It's close.
Well,
to
you
the
could
furthest
you could have listeners be Bagel Boys.
Ooh,
You know, if you ever go 5-0, you just start taunting.
Bagel Boy.
Yeah, you can turn it on them. It doesn't have to just be you.
Thank you, Schaefer. Thank you for the help.
Rob, thanks for calling. Get your bagel and coffee, but calling down the road.
Would I have gotten that?
All right, thanks.
I mean, I turned my mind off because I just thought I got Schaefer.
Tiebreaker. Who wants it? Who wants tiebreaker?
I'll take the over. I'll set the number.
You might get this on the dot. You should. It's a score.
Oh,
It's a
boy.
score.
Oh.
Okay. So you're going for this, and
Wait.
Schaefer's going over under?
Yeah.
Okay. How many points did Nebraska score in its season opener against North Texas to begin the 1993 football season? This goes to you.
This isn't in the
1990.
You said from 2000 to 2000.
Well, I know. Well, this is
Veered off.
This is tiebreaker, though.
93.
Yep. How many points did Nebraska score? That's right. I have my own rules for tiebreaker.
They scored 47 that day.
It's funny. I have 46 in my head, so I guess under.
Okay.
76 points. 76 to 14. The Mean Green had a rough one that day.
Wow.
So, well, congrats still to you guys.
I wasn't covering the team then, full disclosure.
Okay.
I wasn't.
I was 6.
Yeah. I was covering bowling. I was a bowling writer.
Better day. Better
In
days.
1993 was a daily beat.
Yeah, I wrote a weekly bowling column.
Yeah,
I was probably at this
in
one
the
of
gutter with Steve Sipple.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Could
well
still
aware
write
of what the
that.
name of that column.
Yeah, I could still write that one.
You should bring it back.
Did you think so?
Bring it
Really?
back. Yeah,
Yeah, I think on 3
bring
is a big
back the bowling
yeah.
column.
Yeah. I wrote it for 3 years.
Well, bring it back.
Yeah.
We'll go talk to John Lazito and bring it back. Spillover's next and early break in the ticket.
If you need to sell equipment and trucks, Ritchie Brothers' new Lincoln Satellite Yard lets you free up space at your property and get local access to all Ritchie Brothers auctions. Drop your equipment off and sell it online at any Ritchie Brothers auction, Iron Planet, or via Marketplace E. The yard is at 8801 US 6 Lincoln. It's secure and makes for easy in-person buyer inspections and pickup. Take advantage of this yard to sell at Ritchie Brothers' Great Plains Regional Auction, September 15th and 16th. For details, visit rbauction.com/Lincoln.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
You've heard of Jay Cutler, right? No, not the former quarterback. I'm talking the Jay Cutler, a 4-time Mr. Olympia winner and one of the top bodybuilders in history. Well, he has his own nutrition brand, and you can buy his own products and tons of other items to help you reach your goals at Goliath Nutrition. Drop by their HQ today to browse their growing family of products at 17th and O in Lincoln or online at GoliathNutritionStore.com.
Bauer Infrastructure is a new name from a well-established brand, and they're paving the way to progress. And they're hiring. Bauer Infrastructure is hiring truck drivers, carpenters, truck mechanics, and equipment operators. And they have industry-leading benefits to maintain a work-life balance. Bauer offers paid time off and paid holidays, a matching 401k plan, medical, dental, vision, life, and disability insurance, a clothing allowance, and more. Start your new career today by applying at BauerInfrastructure.com. The dog days of summer are here. Is your yard in need of a touch-up as we head into the fall season? August, September, and October are the months for aeration, and Penner Sprinkler and Lawn is the place to call to get the job done right. If you're noticing any issues with your sprinkler system through the hot summer months, they're always a call away, and they're already scheduling installs for sprinkler systems for next year and all other lawn care needs. Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn today at 402-413-1215.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
You work way too hard to blend in. It's time for your business to stand out from the crowd. Revolution Wraps takes your image to the next level with professional, high-quality vehicle wraps, signage, interior graphics, trade show displays, and plenty more. They do it all in-house, from design to print to installation. Call Revolution Wraps in either Lincoln or Omaha for a free quote today at 402-475-2886. Or see what they can do for your business online at revolutionwraps.com. Revolution Wraps. Start something big. Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy and healthy Labor Day weekend. We are thankful for all the hard workers in this country that make it great and celebrate with them all with well-deserved time off this weekend. This important message comes to you from Bart, Mike, and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialist here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services on the air because they care. Join us this Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. at Cornhusker Bank at 84th and O for a tailgate to get ready for Nebraska's first home game. DP&J will be on air with a guest appearance by Larry the Cable Guy with free food and drink for the whole 2 hours. That's this Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. at Cornhusker Bank on 84th and O.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is time for the spillover here on Early Break. Mike Schaefer sticking around. Nick Sainer joins us. I love the off-the-air conversations. They're always the best.
Nick.
I just wasn't expecting you to say that.
IRS. I don't even want to say it out loud.
Easy.
Yeah, sorry.
Keep it off the air. Okay.
Okay.
Just saw this more breaking. We broken news twice today. We saw that Washington's going to
You didn't really break any of the news.
I'm
You
reading
just
the
read
breaking
it.
news. Seeing it, Schaefer. We're informing people
What
of
now?
breaking
Okay,
news.
all right.
What about Russell Wilson?
Yes.
What is it?
Please
Not breaking.
Please don't interrupt my read, Nick.
What is it?
The Broncos and Russell Wilson agreed on a 5-year, $245 million contract extension that includes $165 million guaranteed.
I could add to this conversation because Parker Gabriel covers the Broncos. Parker Gabriel,
Remember him?
former Nebraska football beat writer. Now I'll tell you something.
Come
He
back,
tells
Parker.
interesting stories about covering the NFL now. And Russell Wilson is a guy with an entourage. He has his agent travels with him. He has like a nutritionist, a life coach. He travels with people.
Rolls deep.
That he pays probably a lot of money.
Yeah.
And if you make $240 million, not a
You
problem.
can afford that. Like it's nothing.
I would take $200,000 a year to coach his life up.
I mean, he could totally suck. I mean, he's making $165 million guaranteed.
So what I'm
would he
taking
give you
away here
$200,000?
is that if anyone wants to hire Sipple as a life coach, it's just $200,000 a year. You have to figure out the terms of how often you're going to meet. Are you going to travel with said individual?
Of course I would.
They're
I
paying.
feel like at $200,000, you need to go higher. If you're going to
I
be
want
traveling and you're going to be on
expenses.
call,
Expenses.
They're paying for
Travel
the travel.
well, sure, but I mean, you're essentially just going to be hopping around everywhere they go.
I do
Food
no
for-
writing. I just talk to him sometimes.
Sometimes you're on my time.
If there's any crisis, I'm here.
If you're hired as someone as a conversationalist, you're not even a life coach. It's just a guy to have a conversation with.
Well, I want to get him
So
through
it's going to be
crisis.
falling behind about 25 feet. And
at all times, just making sure.
just, hey,
all
if you need me
Make
to
sure
turn
he's-
around.
Make sure he's
Turn around.
well read.
Oh man, see, we can go back to your bowling days, and you could like your LLC could be in the gutter.
Keep him out of the gutter.
Yeah,
That's
well,
what I'm
yeah,
trying to
but I mean,
Well
they
read.
turn to you because you have the life experience of
I would have the
Of-
Wall Street Journal at his hotel room and GQ. Maybe Time.
You're the magazine and newspaper guy for me.
I would deliver it.
Just making sure the newspaper,
And then he points out to you that he gets it on his iPad, just delivered every day.
I already have this, man. What are you talking about?
Whatever.
We got
paying me $200,000.
What am I paying you for?
Hey, we got football tonight. We got Penn State.
We do.
We got Purdue. We talked about this
West Virginia Pitt. Another good game.
We're not like big on the backyard brawl. It's
Backyard
regional. Like I've never gotten excited about that game.
Big on it. Like
it's not the Red River rivalry.
Yeah.
So what rivalries? No, I gotta do this.
Yeah,
what
please
rivalries are you big on?
Schaefer. I know which one Schaefer's not big on.
I like the Apple Cup.
The
Well, I
game.
do like the Apple.
Do you like it when I call it the game?
No, I do.
I like the game.
I do too.
The,
I'm big on
the
that.
pomp and circumstance.
Red
for
River
that.
rivalry.
I'm big on that pomp and circumstance.
I like Miami, Florida State. That's an interesting one. It's fun.
Ooh, that's waned and
It has.
Yeah, it
waned.
really has
But yeah,
waned.
but I've never been interested in West
No, me
Virginia
neither.
Pitt
I'm
my
with you on
entire
that.
lifetime.
What about in 2007?
Like Steve Slayton in that year?
In 2007, when Pitt won like 14-10, and
Yeah.
it prevented West Virginia from going to the national championship
Steve-
game.
was that
You weren't
Pat-
interested
Was
that
that
year?
Pat White and Steve Slayton?
It
in there,
was.
too?
Yeah. Rich Rod.
Rich Rod.
Now Nick is really young. Do you think
Yeah.
of that backyard brawl every day?
No, not every day. I did not.
I don't
do
think
not
about any college football happening every day. I really don't.
Yeah, no. Every day I think about
what
the Egg Bowl. So,
Do you?
Hey, the Egg
Do
Bowl's
you?
a good one.
Egg Bowl's
The
a
Egg
good
Bowl's a
one.
good one.
Old Miss, Mississippi
Yeah.
State. Here we go.
It's also good because it's now on Thanksgiving night, so you get like
Yeah.
a little extra action. That if the football game, the NFL game isn't good,
The
you can throw
Lions
that
and
on.
Packers.
It's
weren't
been
good.
on Thanksgiving night for 25 years.
Really?
Yeah, I think
I
so.
feel like that was a recent change. It was Black Friday, and then they moved it over to Thanksgiving night.
I was watching it I was foggy in San Antonio after I covered something, and it was on a Sunday night. I was in a hotel. I remember it was on.
Full of detail there.
What Alamo Bowl would that have been? Like 20?
You wouldn't have been
For
covering
Nebraska?
an Alamo Bowl.
Was it a
2000
Big 12
Thanks-
championship game? In
Okay,
San
yeah.
Antonio.
So then that would have been 96.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It was. I'm pretty sure I was
Why would
watching.
you have already been in San Antonio on Thanksgiving though, if
Yeah.
that game isn't played until a week later?
Why was I in San Antonio? I was watching the Egg Bowl in San
Did you go
Antonio.
to a Spurs game for some reason?
No. Maybe the Egg Bowl wasn't on Thanksgiving. Is what we're getting at here.
Well, that's kind of what.
Yeah. I know.
Thank you.
Trouble.
Helping out.
I mean, I don't know for sure, but I feel like it's in the last 7 years it started being played on.
I mean, I just remember.
Really helping Schaefer out here.
I know. Yeah,
Because I
think
thought
you're right.
Thanksgiving was almost always reserved to be an NFL
God,
day,
I think you're right now. I think that that game has been moved.
but it was a Black Friday game. I'm fairly certain.
That's probably.
But then you would have been in Colorado or Nebraska or Oklahoma in the last.
Couldn't I have been in San Antonio for
I
the
mean,
Egg
if you
Bowl?
wanted to be, you could be in San Antonio tonight. Just go get an airline ticket and
It's not a bad idea.
run around with the packs of dogs in that city.
Yeah,
I like San Antonio.
You're infatuated with the dog situation in San
I wasn't
Antonio.
infatuated. Now think about it. What if you walked out of the ticket?
I love this.
You walked out of the ticket and walked toward Hy-Vee,
Okay.
and you encountered 12 dogs running loose. That happens
Are
in
they
San
attacking
Antonio.
you?
No, they just run loose. It's kind of nice in a way. You can tell they're together and that they're a band.
Do you feel threatened at all by the dogs?
I was in my truck, so no.
If you were walking by,
Sybil has never felt threatened when he's been in his truck.
Yeah.
His truck is his safe zone.
Yeah, no, but I wonder about that a little bit. Yeah,
if you were walking by, you may have felt threatened by the dogs.
perhaps.
I've never talked to anybody about the dog situation in San Antonio.
I just think it was a issue with animal control. They didn't have it in their budget to have a significant animal control.
It's a pretty big city.
department.
They should have
Yeah.
a department.
Well,
for that.
talk to Detroit about it. Detroit's had huge problems with lack of animal control, not being in the budget. And in some neighborhoods, they've instructed people to walk with sticks or bats. If you're walking to the store, take a bat with you. And this is no joke. I've read this in the paper.
Encouragement.
Yeah.
I can believe it because there's
It's
parts
true.
of San Antonio that's rough.
Yeah.
No, not all Riverwalk.
That's not. Hey, Jake, I'm not.
I stick to the Riverwalk. It's my area.
Riverwalk is solid.
It's a beautiful place.
Probably not packs of dogs. On
No, that'd be concerning there.
They're just swimming.
Yeah. Rico says, "What's worse, the dogs or the large women?" Shout out Charles Barkley.
Wow.
For
Rico.
Well, that's what he said. There's a lot of.
Let's get
large
back on
women.
track here.
We asked Schaefer. Nick, I'm curious your thoughts. Schaefer is very excited. So are me and Sip for tonight's Purdue Penn State game. Are you the same way?
Yeah, I'm curious to see what James Franklin has this year. Because I don't really know how to assess his current situation at Penn State, because it's not like they've won at a significant high rate.
They paid him a lot to stay.
But they've paid
They
him
sure
a lot
have.
to stay, and they are pissed that they have to go on the road every single conference game. So I don't know, that's an interesting angle to it. Purdue's also interesting because you have Aiden O'Connell coming back. Now he has to figure out a way to go to somebody else other than David Bell. And Purdue feels good about their defense without George Karlaftis. So I'm kind of intrigued to see their defense and how they play because
they changed coordinators too, right?
Yeah.
It's not Nick Holt anymore.
I believe
it's,
so.
Boy,
I don't know who it is.
I don't know, but it's an important game for both teams.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
neither one wants to start 0-1.
Who's it more important for? I think it's more important for Penn State.
I think it's more important for Purdue, but that's because I think Purdue could win the West. So
Yeah,
they have to
you don't-
stack
you
it.
don't-
you
high
don't
hopes
think
for
Penn
Penn
State
State.
can win the East?
No chance. No chance.
No.
They're not good.
So that's
If I was
interesting.
picking a team that wasn't Ohio State to win the East, I'd probably go Michigan.
Now hold
State.
on though. We stumbled on a good question. Who is the game bigger for? I mean, there is if you look at it like that one team has a chance to win a division, the other doesn't. Yeah, clearly Purdue, but Penn State needs a win for its program's sake.
Sure.
I mean, it
Okay, I'm going to switch.
Franklin
to
need-
Purdue. I'm going to switch to Purdue.
Why?
Because you just made the case for Penn State and he wasn't sold.
I wasn't sold because they just paid James Franklin a lot of money. I always think of coaching situations when I talk about what game is important for teams.
Okay.
And I think Jeff Brom needs a win against a decent Big Ten East team to keep Purdue on the map.
They'll be on the map.
To keep them on the map. They had 9 wins. I understand that.
Yeah,
but I'm going to go Purdue.
You think Brom needs a win?
So if Penn State loses
what's
this
their
game,
expectations? Are they trying to win the West?
Yes.
Penn State's not going to win the East.
No, but that's not the only.
And it's Franklin's not going to get fired.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I was thinking. It's
Okay.
not like Jeff Brom's going to get fired if he loses to Penn State.
Penn State is trending down.
They are
right now.
but they've still paid James Franklin to be there. I don't think they're.
I think there's a lot of expectations on Purdue. They just announced a couple new facility upgrades at their stadium. I think there's a lot of expectations.
Oh, I'd watch Purdue
think-
in the NIL
yeah,
front. By the way,
I think there's a lot of expectations with Purdue right now, and we're starting to
Getting that
kind
astronaut
of
money?
see it take fold.
I'd watch some. Yeah, I'll tell you off there. But yeah, okay. You switch quickly. I'm not coming off Penn State. I think it's a big game for Penn State.
who are you taking?
Purdue. I like
Taking
Purdue
Purdue.
I like
Purdue as
Purdue.
well. It's a home.
Maybe by double digits.
I don't know if I can get there because I think
You
it's
get
going
to
to be.
10.
I think it's going to be fun and exciting finish.
Mhm.
But I like Purdue as
Yet,
well.
yet Penn State is a 3.5 point favorite tonight
Wow.
at Purdue.
I'm with Schaefer. That
it's-
just
it's
feels
still-
like name.
It's still
seems
Sean
brand.
Clifford,
It
right?
feels like they're just playing it because the public money is going to all come in on Penn State. So you'd rather have that as a favorite than where they're getting points too. So
You think the money goes to Penn State?
I do. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Do you think there's a lot of renegades out there that are like, I want to hitch my wagon to Purdue?
I think that Purdue had a good season last year. People believe in
Yeah.
Jeff Brom. Now they lost David Bell, Milton Wright, and Karlaftis. We all mentioned that, but Aiden O'Connell's back.
Yeah.
They got Payne Durham still, one of the best tight ends
He's
in the
very
league.
good tight end.
The defense still
Forgot
is going to
about
be
Payne.
fine without Karlaftis. It's a big loss, but they'll be
Yeah.
fine.
No, I mean, look, I have them second or tying with Wisconsin. Wisconsin wins the division.
I
you
believe in
have
Purdue more than
Minnesota?
Penn State.
Was that?
You have Minnesota.
No, so I have Wisconsin going 7-2, Purdue going 7-2, and then
Okay.
Minnesota 5-4, Iowa 4-5, Nebraska 4-5.
Then who wins the head-to-head in your eyes between
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So they get
Purdue's 2 losses in the Mike Schaefer predictions are to Wisconsin and Nebraska
Gotcha.
because I have that as Nebraska's best win of the season.
Well, there you
October
go.
15th.
Yeah, hope they get a win. All right, that's it for us. For Mike Schaefer and Steve Sipple. I'm
Ever.
Nick
We're
Sorensen.
done.
See ya.
Parties with neighbors, hitting the golf course and the pool. The drink of this summer isn't your typical seltzer. It's drinkable Delta 8. Yep, Trek